I don't officially know when it starts. Here we are with DadBodDnd presents community one-shots. We have all these lovely people you can see around, itching to play some Dungeons and Dragons tonight, and I'm ready to have them. It's going to be a great time. Before we get into like character introductions, I'll give the DadBod spiel. We are DadBodDnd. You can find us anywhere on the internet at DadBodDnd. You can check us out on Twitter. If you want to be in one of these one-shots, join our Discord. The link is down below. Come in and in the chat in Discord, ! I want in, all one word. We'll put you in the secret room of one-shot chats, and that's how you get in the game. Yeah, it's in the Twitch chat as well. Or ! I want in if you want to be a part of these one-shots. I think this is like the third or fourth one we've done with people from around the world and community, the D&D community, and they are great every single time, and tonight is going to be no less. You can catch DadBodDnd every Friday night, 8:30 Central, playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We have a podcast on Thursday nights. That's kind of hit or miss, but you might catch us there. There we are. That's it for me. I want to go around the horn here and get kind of some character introductions. You can tell us where to find one. Tell us your name. Tell us where we can find you on the internet if you so choose. And give us an introduction to your character's name, kind of what they look like, the description, and maybe their role on the ship, because this is nautical themed after all. And we will start with Cole, if you want to give us a rundown.
I'm Cole. You can find me at Cole Moriel on Twitter. I also hang around with Variant Roles, very cool community as well. They also do one-shots and things, so check them out. Also, Hats, Cats, and Clerics. I'm the community engagement person. And tonight, I will be playing Tarragon Andriel, a tiefling monk. Is the captain of the ship, who should probably not be the captain of the ship, but his average height, he is missing his left arm. He does not like shoes or shirts. Nice.
Thank you, Cole. Doug.
All right, I'm Doug. You can find me on Twitter at DadBodDnd. I will be playing one Merrick Talden, a gnome rogue. I am the first mate on the ship. I also probably have no business being on the ship, and will hopefully not get everyone slaughtered.
Beautiful. I sure your crew members hope the same. Next, we'll go to Corey. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
So I'm Corey. You can find me online basically anywhere. So Instagram, Twitter, Twitch as Ink and Ignorance, where I paint miniatures. I do some gaming, but mostly it's my art stuff. The character I'm going to be playing is, I'm looking over here because that's where you guys are, but the character I'm going to be playing is Warwick Crow's Nest Davenport. So he's a taller dude, 6'1"-ish, we're going to say, kind of a broody looking dude. Rough 5 o'clock shadow constantly because he shaves with his knife basically when he has time, pulled back ponytail, and he's the ship's bosun. So he's the guy in charge of kind of making sure that everything's running tip-top, and knows the place inside out.
Nice. Thanks, Corey. Steven the Demon, go ahead and introduce yourself there.
Hi, I'm Steven. You can find me over at the Oddball Show on Twitch. I'm playing Rips Feisman, who is the surgeon of the ship, and they're all alive, so you know I'm doing a real good job. I think that. What did you want more info? I think that's pretty, yeah.
Give me a description of what Rips might look like.
So I, as a surgeon, it's my job to make sure that everything is very cleanly. So I make sure that I am completely shaven at all times, and I mean every piece of hair. I don't have eyebrows, I don't have a beard, I don't have hair. My armpit hair, just shave that right off every morning. I make sure that I'm good to go. You all made me have a cat for some reason, and I make sure that he is also shaved completely because I don't need cat hair in all of my surgery. So that's what I'm dealing with.
Good. I think you and Warwick spend time together shaving every now and then. All
Hell
right,
yeah.
that leaves that leaves Miles. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Miles. You can find me on Twitch at Kevin Gnome Dwarf. I just mostly play Hearthstone. I'm addicted to the game. Please send help. This is not a drill. I might have to go to rehab. You can also find me on Twitter at Friendly Kobold. I write D&D. I play D&D. Blah blah blah. I will be playing Durutar Kamaburk, and he is a half-orc, standing at a 6'4". His hair is a stark white. He's a young half-orc, however. His eye is a piercing yellow. His skin a nice green color, not too bright, not too dark. He is a barbarian, and he has a scar that goes from both of his arms into his chest, and what he claims to be a lightning strike. And that is all he has ever said about the matter.
All right. Good. Mystery.
Cook. I just kind of make things, and not terrible because I use actually fresh ingredients.
Oh.
Nice. All right. So that is the crew of the Danti Manti. It is a sailing ship. Their mascot here on the Danti Manti is a manticore. So on the ship, the mast, is it the masthead? I don't know any ship terms, so don't hold it against me. But the masthead up front, the figurehead, is a manticore that is at the front of your ship. Like I said, this is a sailing ship, so you do have there are a couple different levels. There are 3 levels of the ship, and then there are like 2 decks, I would say, at the front and the back. But here we are. Let's get the opening narrative going. So you guys, this crew has been out at sea for about 12 days now on your current adventure. And you are currently, the sun is a few hours from setting on your 12th day at sea. Your bodies are in a rhythm with the sea. You are one with the ship. You are one with the crew. The ship is making quick time and are, by all calculations, another day out from where you know the sunken ship, the smiling Leviathan, to lay rest at the bottom of the sea. There you know that you will find what you were looking for, the apparatus of the crab. The mysterious contraption once owned by the wizard Mordenkainen, and it has been sunken at the bottom of the sea, and you are tasked to go and retrieve it. What would you guys like to do? So the sun is setting. It's starting to get a little, during the daytime it's rather warm, and you do get sweaty. That's an inside joke from earlier in the chat, but you do get a nice glisten of sweat. And as that sun starts to set, it does get a little chilly if you're up on the outer deck of the ship. What would you guys like to do?
Well, Merrick Talden shall be strolling the deck, just kind of surveying everything. He's not entirely sure what he's doing or what he's supposed to be telling people to do, but every now and then he'll bark at him or like, "Oh, you there! Climb up to the top of the mast," and just keep wandering, do that sort of stuff.
All right, yeah, just keep in general order of some of the other crew members. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll be walking around with him, actually doing my rounds as the bosun, making sure there's no damage from the day. We didn't catch any heavy waves, and just assessing the general shape of the boat to make sure there's nothing to be done tomorrow.
Good. Everybody else, what are you doing?
I'm gonna sterilize all my tools with seawater.
All right. So, Rips, your medical cabin is actually in the lower deck, and you have a nice corner all to yourself. And in that cabin, you have different hooks and shelves on the walls. They're all holding these medical instruments that you are sterilizing with this salt water. You have jars of like bandages and different balms and tonics. There is a jar of leeches up on that same shelf. And you do keep this very, very clean, very sterile as you can, being in the mid-level of a sailing ship.
I sit there and I look at my favorite scalpel and I go, perfect.
Are you polishing with a scalp?
Well, I only kind of have one hand available because I'm a puppet, so that was me polishing it against my face because this is really
gotcha.
hard to do.
Gotcha. The limits of the one-handed.
Yeah, you're telling me, dog.
All right. Miles, you're not Miles. That's your real name. Duratar, sorry. Duratar. You kind of make way. Your kitchen, if you want to call it that, is in the very bottom of the ship in the hold. You have a nice little setup. You got a little burner there that you can make a fire and you can boil. You have a little prep station. What might you be doing at the end of the night on the ship?
I would most likely be preparing either the supper, if we have not eaten that yet, laying out some breads and yeasts in order to rise for tomorrow's meal.
Okay, nice. Captain, what might you be doing as the sun starts to set?
Kind of like looked over the map and gone back up to the top and saw Merrick and Warwick ship. I want to sneak up and I want to take my tail and poke side of the shoulder, but then stand on the other side.
And you're doing this to Merrick or Warwick?
Merrick.
Oh, hello. Oh my goodness. It's happened again. Why does this keep happening? Oh, Captain, there you are. Good evening.
How's everything looking here?
It's looking very, very fantastic. Isn't that right, Warwick? Tell her. Tell her.
So far, so good. I haven't seen any issues from the day's work. Everything seems to be just fine. It was a fairly clean day of sailing.
Clean.
Good. We should be arriving. Perhaps we should. Our plan is sleep. Before we go to sleep, we should talk about how we are going to retrieve this thing tomorrow.
Yes, Captain, of course we should. I agree with whatever you were saying 100%.
At this point, Darutar comes up from the bottom of the deck, and he, right outside, like right where, down into the ship, there's a little bell, and he just
I'm assuming that
giant tray of food.
And so on the main deck next to the captain's quarters at the back of the ship, there is an officer's kind of dining hall. I imagine you would take it to there and people would maybe follow you.
Of course, Merrick follows the food. Warwick, I'm quite tired from walking around the ship all day. Will you please pick me up and carry me there?
That's an odd request, friend. It's the first of its kind from you. What is this on? Your legs seem to be working just fine the last couple of hours doing our rounds.
Warwick, I don't have time to tell you about the ship's hierarchy yet again. I will just tell you right now that I need to be carried.
As a medical professional, I will confer that he does in fact need to be carried.
Thank you, Rip.
Smile at him, nod, and go, good luck making it to your quarters, and I take off.
Halt! Come back! Oh, shoot.
Troubling bothers me. And Darutar just picks you up by the scruff of your neck.
This is fine.
Just
This is fine.
sighs, just like a parent, just sighs. Just another day down in the mess.
As a medical professional, that's not okay.
Rip, save me.
I fell behind laughing to myself.
I'll bet you 5 gold he breaks his spine.
Awful bet to make. Why would you say such a thing?
So you're gonna take the bet, right?
Bop him on the back of the head with the tail and keep walking.
Warwick in the background overheard it as he's heading to the corner and goes, I'll take that bet!
Yeah, you will!
I did.
Durata, there is 10 gold in it for you if you do not break my spine.
There's 20 gold in it! Never mind.
Darutar, we'll see.
Ooh.
So you guys file into this this dining hall for the kind of some of the crew, the higher echelon crew. You take your seat, Duratar. What are you serving tonight?
A very unusual type of creature, and I have its senses, and I have cooked it for all of you. Pulls out a bowl, basically, of what would the equivalent of a squid. Read about one of these creatures before. It looks like a squid, a jellyfish, and a bug had a baby.
It's a booger. You're feeding us boogers.
And it's over this it's over a very nice fluffy moist bed of rice, and there is a purple sauce on top of it. You don't know what it is, but it smells good.
I just poke it and go, "Ah, darn, if only I wasn't a vegan."
This veganism.
Merrick will pick up this creature that is on his plate of food and say, "Oh, this smells absolutely delicious. Quick, Duratar, what's over there?" And hopefully he looks and he's just going to fling it over his shoulder.
To eat it. He's not really picky.
He does not move. What is over there? Duratar, knowing his surroundings like a keen warrior, just stares at you.
Just chucked it dead ass while he's looking at you.
Yeah, sure did. Just threw it. It's
Looks
gone.
behind where it splats and just says, "I'm cleaning that up." What's up? The captain. Require captain.
No, this is lovely. Thank you so much.
Kitchen to clean up.
Hearing
Cut out one more time and he says, "Eat the food."
Hearing
Slowly
Tarragon
closes the door threateningly.
Upon hearing Tarragon's kind words for the chef and his creations, Merrick sheepishly gets up, goes over, picks it up off the floor, and pops it in his mouth.
You immediately taste a it's kind of rubbery. The tentacles are very rubbery, but it's not that bad because whatever purple sauce that is kind of makes it dissolve a little bit in your mouth. What really gets you is the liquid inside the tentacles. It's describe it as if you took liquid candy, blender with some fish, and then actually it makes your lips pucker. Not terrible because the rice kind of dilutes the taste a little bit better. It's like vaguely tastes like chicken.
Oh. I take the piece off Rip's plate.
I'm gonna slide you the whole plate and be like, "You know what? I'm just gonna hope a seagull lands on board."
Thank you, Rips. You're a kind-hearted individual.
Sir Rips, I thought you were vegan.
I flip-flop.
Carry on then. Most of you know I don't have the most experience with oceans. Does anyone have how we're going to get to sunk?
Captain, you do raise an interesting question, and in my expert opinion, we should do whatever you think is best, of course. I'd say we just take someone, tie a weight to their feet, and throw them overboard.
I volunteer as tribute.
Not him. He's my favorite.
I do not volunteer as tribute. Perhaps one of these expendable crew members I've heard so much about would be willing to undertake a job for the good of the crew.
Well, I was experience with magic or anything like that.
We could put like a bowl on their head.
Doesn't really fully encompass. Everything's important.
Now, Captain, hold on. He's on the right path. What if we take a fish bowl and put that on their head?
Might still
What if we just tell him to hold his breath for a real long time?
So, Merrick, you know that down in the armory, you are the only one that has a key to it, and you kind of keep inventory of this armory. You know that there are a few items down there that will help aid in any underwater adventuring that this party may have to undertake. You know that there are... let me get to that part in my notes here. You know that there are some potions of water breathing. Okay. You know that there is a cloak of the manta ray down there, and you know that there is a helm of underwater action that you've kind of like gathered in your travels just to kind of help you in these situations where you do need to go underwater and try to acquire things. So there are these things down there for you. So putting a bowl on somebody's head is not totally necessary, as you do have some of the means to make it underwater.
All right, fine. Captain, if you are insisting on a reasonable solution, we do have a few items down below that might help us a little bit more than the fish.
Okay, that's a relief. I was starting to worry that fishbowl was going to be our only option.
It's a strong option. Don't get me wrong, please. Please.
Now, Captain, hear me out.
Uh-oh.
I don't even think we know a lot of these fellas' names. And when we pull into the next port, I'm sure there will be waves of people just ready to hop onto the ship who came back with treasure. So, if we lose one or two here or there, what if we gained, what if we lost?
I pull a couple of crew members that are on the top deck and bring them over and go, "What's your name?"
My name's Billy.
And
as
yours?
you're looking at this person, it's like one of the youngest crew members you see. Looks to be about 14, 15 years old, just kind of some fear in the eyes. They were just kind of sweeping up and around as you grabbed them and pulled them in.
Yeah. And the second one, do you say, then what's your name, my friend?
You know my name. It's Madfish, and he takes his pole and he flings another fishing line out into the ocean. And you know Madfish as the salty old guy that he's the one getting all the fresh food and these underwater findings for Duratar and the kitchen.
Of course, our friend Madfish. Like, how could I not remember your face? And I look back to Rips and go, "I'm sorry, friend, but your argument is invalid at this point."
Hold on now.
Now, how many other Billies are there in the world, Now a Madfish, that's a 1 in a million catch, but Billy! Well, Billy, I'm just not seeing any... I don't know. I think I could find a 16-year-old who could do twice what you could do.
Right, first of all...
Slowly opens the kitchen door.
My goal here as captain is to make sure that everyone comes out of this alive.
Aww.
Anybody.
Then the goal of the ship shall be to make sure everyone comes back alive. Of course, Rips, protect Billy.
Yes. As the surgeon, it's my job to keep most of you alive.
And as this interaction is going on, Terrigan, you can see Billy kind of eyes are fluttering in your direction, like scared and nervous.
To the kitchen, I'll on the door.
If this is more information about your veganist ways, I do not wish...
Have anything on the sweeter side of things?
And he goes over and he says... He points to you very, very fervently. The cooker and pulls out a bucket of halfling candy.
Much, but... And I will give a gracious bow. Be like... And I will walk back over to Billy for a moment.
Puts the candy away, shuts the door.
While she's off getting this candy, can Merrick walk over to Billy and just hold his hand and just start whispering, "It's all right. It's all right. We won't actually hurt you. It was just a goof."
I hope not. I don't have any skills, putting me down there is...
Yeah, Billy, that was the point.
Why would you admit that you don't have skills? I'm trying to save your life.
I mean, skills to be underwater. I mean, I take care of the ship. The deck is clean like this because of me.
He has many skills. He's good with a broom and a mop.
I've seen him work around the ship. I've seen his worth. He's not expendable.
Not at all.
And you could see Billy make contact with Warwick and just kind of like a non-verbal thank you.
Back and say, "Follow me for a moment."
Is that to Billy? Yeah. So Billy kind of releases her hand from Merrick's and makes a way over towards you.
So
Rude.
You can't let them put me down under the water. I can't do that.
I know, absolutely not. You will stay on the ship where it is safe and dry. Don't let anything happen to you. Don't you worry.
Thank you, Tarragon.
So, a little secret for you from the kitchen.
Hold out the hands.
Hmm.
What? And is it wrapped? Yes. Unwrap it and put it in her mouth. It's like candy.
We had some on the ship, but don't tell anyone, okay?
I will not.
So, sorry, was that off to the side, or would have been possible for any of us to have seen that happen?
And off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine kind of backs turned and...
I'm gonna turn to Doug here real fast. All right, Doug. You know what? Heart to heart, maybe I shouldn't have gone after the 14-year-old. That's on me. You know, maybe old Rips got a little excited. I say we find us a 15-year-old and we try again.
Rips, you don't need to go for the 15-year-old. We go for 14 and a half and we're fine.
You know what? I like you. I like the cut of your jib.
Thank you.
I'm also quite sure that shipmate Doug is really happy about what you're saying. But...
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
mean
yeah,
Merrick.
sorry, Merrick. Yeah, Merrick.
That's all right.
My God.
So as this conversation is going on upstairs, and Duratar, after the captain came down and requested some other food, you notice in the corner of your kitchen a fire kind of break out that is quickly becoming out of control.
I immediately grab the flour and throw it onto the fire.
Damn it, Billy!
It's Billy's fault.
I yell, "There's a fire in the kitchen! Stay on your guard!" And he just throws the flour as much as he can with fire.
Yeah, so you kind of taking a sack of flour and you put it on there. It starts to get the edges of it, but it is starting to move up. And Captain Tarragon, you do hear this call for fire out there. We're going to have our first dice roll here, guys.
Okay.
I need the captain to just give me a general intelligence check to kind of get people moving around and where they need to be. Merrick, as first mate, I need you to you have two options here. You can give me an intimidation check or a persuasion check to kind of urge people to get buckets of water or just, intimidate them into doing it. That's up to you.
The captain's making a face I don't like.
Hold on to it.
Realizing that her intelligence is far too low.
Warwick, I need you to give me a strength check as you're kind of muscling things around and as the bosun trying to get things in place. And then Rips, unfortunately, there were a few people that did get some burns. I need you to give me a medicine check.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and roll charisma, I think. I'll just try and gently persuade people.
My bad, we're back.
All right. And
First one, buddy.
what do you got, Warwick? Oh, he's...
It's, the curse continues. Strength check, just straight strength?
Yeah, straight
Oh,
strength.
no.
Yeah, buddy.
What do you got? 7. Merrick, what do you got?
I rolled 27.
Ooh. Slightly better.
My God!
That's slightly better.
Chaps, what are you doing? Get moving!
Captain Terrigan, what did you roll for your intelligence check? That's a 5, solid 5. And Rips for your medicine check.
Okay, even with a +5, that's gonna be a 7.
Oh man, you guys.
I don't know.
And proceed the Benny Hill theme.
What would you do with a burnt-up sailor? What would you do?
Oh, there it is.
I warned you, buddy. I warned you.
So, with all of that happening, it's almost too late in the evening for you guys to be like on your guard and getting. It's like you want to put your feet up, right? You get home from a long day's work, you want to put your feet up, and you're kind of in that mode, and you're struggling. And that fire is having a hard time getting put out. You're not getting enough water down there quick enough. There's not enough flour to throw on it, and you actually damage some of the dried goods that you have down there. And I need everybody to make that check one more time.
Charisma again, or
yeah, same checks. Just do it one more time.
Last time.
Give me
Much better.
Give me an intelligence. Sorry, I'm blanking on names. Duratar, give me an intelligence roll.
Now, it could be that I'm a demon and God doesn't like me. That's another 7.
Hold up.
Rips.
Rutar, what is your intelligence? Well, that's fine. That's a flat 19.
Okay, Duratar 19. Terrigan.
Oh, it's 11. 11.
Okay, that's better. That's better. Merrick.
20 or sorry,
I rolled a natural 1.
Warwick, what do you got?
I know that face. 22 for Warwick.
22. Okay.
I've become
This
less
is-
charismatic.
This is a group DC, so luckily there were enough people in the group that kind of propped up those 1s and 7s that you're able to finally, after this fire going on longer than you had hoped, get the fire put out. There are some damages down there that kind of limiting some of your rations, and you have a nice char in your kitchen now that you would rather not be there. So I don't know if anybody here has read through Ghost of Saltmarsh, but the way things can work on the boat is you do these checks and you can increase your quality score. And because we failed that first one, you don't get a point to your quality score. That'll make more sense as we kind of get further on in the night, but right now you're still sitting at a 0 quality score. So pin that for now, and as other things happen, we'll kind of add to it. But one
We're
failed
gonna
check,
sink the damn
no
ship.
problem. Yeah, you guys, it's not sinking, you're not leaking anywhere, but there is some damage to that the kitchen that you would not like to be there.
I would like to try to find the source of the fire.
Okay. Yeah, give me a investigation check as you're kind of now like pulling stuff out and trying to figure out where this is happening.
Investigation, that would be a 16.
Okay, yeah, with the 16, you like the like straight out of the movie Backdraft. You're able to find where this fire started, the impetus of this fire, and it seems to be a stray spark from your cooking, your cast iron cooking pit or stove that you have down there. Just a spark kind of flew out as you opened the oven that you didn't quite check, you didn't quite catch an eye on, and it kind of set in the corner and lit a flame, a little dishcloth that was there.
God damn it, Billy.
Can Merrick just go take a look at the damage, see how bad it is, see if there's if we're in any kind of danger, or just kind of get an idea of what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so you can give me an investigation check as you're down there. It would probably be a good idea to grab the bosun with you, and maybe you guys can...
I was just going to say, is there a chance that I can come with him and help him on that?
Yeah, so go ahead and doing the help action that you can... Someone can roll with advantage, or you can both roll investigation, up to you.
And this is investigation?
Yeah, as you're just trying to
roll with advantage.
Roll the advantage, okay. So, just for the record, going forward, just assume that Merrick is always pulling Warwick with him, because he's not got a clue what the hell he's doing. So with advantage, I'm looking at 16 for investigation.
Okay. 16, you're kind of like pushing on some of the boards that make up the shell of the ship. And nothing nothing is really giving way. It seems to be most of the damage is very superficial on the structure of the ship, but you do notice that some of your rations have been eaten away by this fire, and the journey home is going to be a little tight, making the food last.
Don't worry about that, Merrick. That'll buff out.
No. Well, that's good to know. I don't think it looks that bad. Really?
And if we're super worried about not having enough supplies for the ride back, Billy, he could just...
Rips not now? Not now?
Sorry.
The captain is present. We want...
He is leveling you with a stare. Don't push it.
Durutar goes over to his utensils and favorite one, his gigantic maul.
Oh shit.
On the tip, and he says, "See dog and help find replacements for these rations. Mind to bear my apologies, Captain."
I feel like our fisherman friend might have to work double duties.
It's all right, yes.
I think we'll be all right.
Warwick is quite right. The fisherman will just work day and night. Don't worry. He's old. He knows how to do it. It's quite okay. Captain, everything is
Man
fine.
will keel over before he pulls several all-nighters with how much alcohol he drinks.
It just gives him balance on his sea leg. Have you not been paying attention?
He's seeking counseling!
Oops.
How could you be so insensitive?
Durutar, do you require assistance?
That is up to you, Captain. I do not wish to deal with anything so trivial.
Please, no problem at all. I'll help, or try to anyway.
Captain, you shan't lift a finger. I shall take care of it. Warwick, take care of it.
It is what I do best
That
after
you
all,
volunteer
so...
yourself and then automatically volunteer here.
That's the right of the first mate.
That is the job of a bosun, too. It's been my life since as long as I can remember, so... I've got this. I'll take care of it the first thing in the morning.
To assist, then you will hold whatever we catch still while I kill it.
Oops.
I'll Durutar anyway.
I would like to slide up to Terrigan and hold his hand and just shake ever so softly, as though I am terrified of this massive being that is just going to slaughter everything to feed us all food.
Look again.
Old man, prepare your rod!
Who?
You're talking to Madfish up there. He's it's in the water. That's you know that Madfish. That's all he does. He sits on that upper deck, and he's constantly just throwing his line out there, and that's his job. That's all he does.
Old man, he stands firm and ready to whack the shit out of anything that comes out of the water.
So yeah, Madfish throws it out. It's 10, 15 minutes go by where he's reeling in nothing, and he does get a pull, and he starts reeling it in, and you can see the arm on this fishing pole just start to really just bend and arc down into the water, and he's kind of leaning back, bracing himself, and he's reeling in another 5 minutes. Finally gets it up, and he gets it up on the deck, and you do see a rather large fish that is just kind of now just flopping back and forth on the deck.
If anyone were to be watching, this would be a very rare moment where you see Durutar grin, baring his tusks, a flash of lightning in his yellow eyes. Ooh. He just slams down the maul on this thing.
Yeah,
you're roll damage, or should I just hit it?
It's there. You hit it, and it kind of you put it out of its misery. The fish is now lying there. While this will be an addition to the rations, it is far from supplementing what you have lost. But this is a step in the right direction.
Merrick would like to run over and stab the dead fish with his rapier and smile proudly at Terrigan as if to say, "Look what I did."
You hold it up.
I try and lift the fish. It's as big as I am.
Char lifts the fish and purposely knocks him over. The kitchen. This will be done before you know it.
We
Now,
just ate dinner.
There's preparations, fool.
At this point, the sun has now fully set, and it is the stars are now starting to twinkle in the sky and kind of set up the nice backdrop for an evening here for the nighttime. Duratar, you're down kind of prepping this fish. What's everybody else doing? What is their kind of nighttime ritual as the bed starts or the ship starts to go quiet?
Wolf,
I'll go first.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, but so my Warwick's routine first off is he's gonna quick glance over the top deck. He's gonna head up to the crow's nest, take a few minutes to sit there and reflect, and just kind of check the waters and make sure nothing obvious is stirring. Any instructions coming in the way for the night's travels. Like just do a kind of a once over from the top peak as is his routine.
Merrick will have followed Warwick around while he was doing a survey of the deck, and the moment Warwick started to climb up to the top of the crow's nest, Merrick says, "Oh, well, that's enough for me," and walks away from that because that's stupid. And he will sneak into the captain's quarters and just hold a quick little paper mache bird and place it gingerly on Terrigan's pillow before slipping back out and trying to go back to his own quarters to rest for the evening.
Okay. Yeah, so in those quarters are on the direct opposite of the ship. So Terrigan, the captain quarters are in the back next to that kind of dining hall. And then all of your kind of crew quarters are up front. So you would, going from one end of the ship to the other.
Yeah. Sneakily.
All right. Do you not want to be seen? Is this...
I would prefer to be more of an anonymous gift leaver for Terrigan.
All right. Then give me a stealth check, and then Terrigan, give me a perception check.
Oh no. Okay, that's not bad.
Oh my god!
17.
I think you're gonna be okay. Terrigan, what do we get there?
Founded.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit. We're getting the
Five
nonverbal
dice.
5. Yeah, so Terrigan, you're kind of thinking about a few things, kind of lost in the stars maybe a little bit. So many things are kind of happening tonight. This fire, Billy kind of getting thrown into some action that you're kind of contemplating and just staring off into the stars. Where Merrick, you're able to kind of traipse in and move out without being seen.
I stare lovingly at Terrigan while I do so.
Rips, what is your nighttime ritual there in the medical cabin?
Well, see, I figured that there were a lot of fellas who had been burned from what you said, and according to that roll of 7, I think I'm just kind of slapping their burns with some, gauze, causing way more pain than I'm really helping. And they're like, thank you, because they know they have to be nice to me, because if one of them gets stabbed through, I'm kind of their best hope. But right now, they're like, this goddamn idiot isn't doing nothing for us.
Yeah, there's a couple. You probably have like 3 people down there, kind of laid out next to each other. It's making this medical cabin very cramped, and it quickly starts to fill with this kind of this. How do I want to say this mouth full of like dirty air now that this many bodies are down there and kind of some seared flesh, and they are all kind of like biting on a stick because you are not being the nicest of surgeons here and just kind of slapping those balms and salves on their burns.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
So, how's everybody feeling?
Oh, we've been better. Like, can you be gentle at all?
1 second.
Oh no.
According to that roll, that's a 23. So if you want me to be real gentle, it's like being caressed by a baby sheep.
Yeah.
That could have gone so bad.
It could have gone real bad.
You're able to scoop out some of the salve, and you're able to just kind of spread it on in this nice, thick layer, and it's like you're not even there. And it's this immediate cooling effect on the leg of this the shipmate. And, Oh, that's better. Why don't you do that every time?
Because you need to build character.
Okay, I thought that's what sailing did, but I guess...
Well, now you have twice the character.
Good, my mom... That's why I'm out here. My mom said I needed more character, and I guess I'm getting it.
As he leaves, I go, tell your mom hey for me.
Well, it's going to be a while before I see her again. But that's okay. It's okay. I'm fine now. I feel better. I'm fine.
Yay. Who's next?
Yeah, so you're able to just kind of move away from this body and in between the next one and start doing the same thing 2 more times. Gets them kind of calmed, and everybody is able to eventually leave this. Their burns aren't so bad that they can't move or walk, but they are in some discomfort. Terrigan, what is your nighttime kind of ritual here?
I walk around the deck and check in with like any crew member that I see, make sure everyone's feeling all right. Try to make people laugh where I can, and
okay. You see, Madfish is there, just still plunking those hooks down into the water, and as you kind of come around behind him, he turns his head, gives you a nod, and we'll be all right, Captain.
About that, please do so.
We'll do my best. And you see Warwick making his rounds as well, and eventually you'll catch eyes with Merrick as he's safely out of your quarters.
I'd give Merrick a wink.
Merrick faints.
Oh god. So you guys, by this time, you guys kind of make it back to your place of sleep. Again, the captain's quarters is in the very back, all by yourself. I would say Warwick and Merrick, you guys are up front. And then it's up to Rips and Duratar if they want to make their way up to there, or if you sleep in your own personal areas of work.
I like to sleep amongst the storage room. It's where I feel the most comfortable. The pitter-patter of the rats really helps me fall asleep.
Yes, you make your way towards the front of the ship. There is just the galley down there that, there's some cots and some hammocks that swing from some of the structural beams in there that, you're able to crawl into one. And there are rats and scurrying and scuffling and the snoring of other sailors that are down there with you. It's not the most quiet of situations.
And all the other sailors are trying to go to sleep. They're doing their best. And I kind of crawl up onto some of the boxes, and as I'm falling asleep, you just hear me go, "Good night, Shelley. Good night, Franklin. Good night, Steven." And everyone slowly starts to realize, oh my god, none of these are crew member names. He named the rats. He's saying good night to the rats.
You're one of the people down there with you. Rips. Every night.
Every night.
To do this every night.
Well, don't you want to feel loved?
No.
That's ow, wow. Do you want to talk?
No.
Maybe you can't be on the high seas too long,
I want to sleep, Rips.
Fair enough.
Rutar passes. Those rats will become a meal if I have anything to say about it. Keep them to yourself. His quarters, which is a barricaded iron door. Into his shirt, pulls out a key, undoes like 7 different locks, opens it. As he... More locks.
All right, very secretive. All right, yeah. So you guys are all kind of secured into the night.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or I head down to my quarters. Clear.
Say it again, Terrigan. Sorry.
Sorry, my audio's so bad. Before I go down, the sky clear. Does it look like it's gonna rain?
So from what you can see, it's clear. So no clouds in any. Give me a perception check.
Okay, this is the third die that I'm rolling,
Come
and
on.
I'm scared.
I got my fingers
got
crossed
this.
for you.
19.
There we go. That was your one good roll for the night, by the way. But
Don't joke.
so you do see. Sorry, I take that back. That is not the truth. You are going to roll natural 20s the rest of the night. You do see. So in the direction that you came from, clear, and you see nothing but stars. And as you kind of pan and look to the front of the ship, in the distance, you do see some clouds. So in the direction that you are heading, and you're kind of putting two and two together, thinking about the map, thinking about your destination, judging how far away those clouds are, it seems to be like you're heading into that. Like tomorrow, your destination, when you reach it, probably going to be pretty crummy weather.
After that, go to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, so you make your way into your cabin, and on your desk, you do see a little something. Now, I should ask, Merrick, is this something that you normally do, or is this a first-time thing?
Oh, this is a routine thing.
Okay.
It's been happening every night since Terragon's come onto the ship. First as not the captain, but it's just been something that's always happened.
Okay. Yeah. So, Terragon, as you enter in, you see this thing that you've seen before.
Thing that you've seen before. I'm gonna smile to myself, and I'm going to carefully take it. And I have a little shelf where I've been collecting them. I put it on the shelf.
Okay. So you've been at sea for 12 days now in this round. So would you say you have roughly 12 of them, or has this been happening even before this?
It's been happening since even before this, but
Okay.
it's up to Terragon, obviously, whether or not he's kept them or if he's been offloading them somewhere secret. I don't know.
Okay.
He's kept them. A collection growing.
All right, good. Yeah, so you are running out of room almost. Like you got enough. Yeah, you got enough for a few more, but at a certain point, you're gonna have to start weeding out the maybe the ones the initial ones where you weren't as good at folding these origami birds.
It just depends on how much Merrick's had to drink that day.
Good.
I would like to just before I drift off to sleep, I would like to roll over in my bunk and say, Warwick, are you up?
Yes, my friend, yes.
Good. I have a small favor to ask.
Anything for the first mate? What can I do for you?
Normally Rips does this, but he seems to be busy with his rats these days. Would you read me my story?
First, let's not get me started on the rats. Those things cause me more issues than anything else.
These two, they've taken away my storyteller.
Good night, Kevin.
I know. Do we have to, friend?
It would help me to sleep.
Which one do you want to hear this time?
I want to hear the one about the
Kraken?
big... Oh, the Kraken, yes.
Do you want me to tell the story, or shall I? All right. Years ago, we left port. Everything seemed fine, and we caught word of this beautiful treasure beyond some turmoil waters, and all of us on our crew couldn't wait to get out there.
Much like we're doing now?
Exactly, my friend, exactly.
Good.
We spent days traveling. We stopped here and there, plundered some known islands, stopped at ports. Finally, we made it to the Tormental Waters. We saw the island where the treasure was said to be kept. That day was not a good day. And I know you've heard this story, but that day was when I got my nickname you are so fond of, my friend.
Yes. I do recall.
The water's boiled, splash, spit. We couldn't stop it from occurring. One tentacle, another, 3, 5. They wrapped around the mast. They started taking down ports. Took the captain off the wheel himself. Just picked him off like he was a strawberry. Hours we fought that thing. Used every last reserve of gunpowder we had. And do you remember how this story ends, my friend?
You came to join our ship and everything was so happy, and please don't tell me the scary parts.
Sadly, I lost many friends that day. Not only that, my one piece of true pride is that ship. And the only thing left standing was that crow's nest. With me, floating adrift inside. And you can talk to some of our old friends for the rest. But, needless to say, I still stand before you this day.
I should have picked a lighter bedtime story.
But I like that story.
I do too. It's lovely. I'm sorry about everything, and you just look beautiful. Please be okay.
I hope it didn't spook you too much. Good night, and I roll over and go to sleep.
Merrick spends many hours staring at the ceiling thinking, oh my god.
Can't believe I would die for this whole crew.
I love you all.
Good night, Samantha.
My God.
That's it. Merrick goes to sleep.
Alright. Sorry, my son got a job and he works graveyard, so I had to wish him well. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he's working his butt off. But here we are, back at it. You guys the seas are calm this night. You guys go to sleep. Nothing major happens. There are some crew that kind of stay awake, make sure you stay on course, and nothing that way. You guys get your full rest. How do you guys wake up? How do you guys take back control of the ship from the kind of the nighttime skeleton crew?
I do what I do. Morning.
Oh no.
Up. Stretch. Hairs on my arms. Breath. I sigh. Just in my room. Out my orcish bagpipes.
Oh, no.
We're killing the
In
cook.
Morning ritual.
Marching through the ship.
Inhale, and so begins the serenade of the morning's call.
As Merrick does
What is my perform check? Hold on.
Yeah, give me a performance check.
In this instrument. That is a 19 perform to awaken my compatriots to the sound of orcish pipes.
Are you doing this behind your several locks on your door, or do you open that up?
Up onto the main deck, I just said,
Okay.
Good morning, saltfish.
Okay. Yeah, so you're up on the deck, awaking everybody, serenading everybody with your beautiful bagpipes. Because with a performance check like that, it sounds extra lovely this morning. Yeah. So how's everybody reacting to this typical arousal from Duratar?
So this wonderful little crewmate who's sleeping in a hammock across from me looks across and he just sees Rips holding a razor to his ear, muttering to himself, "Not today. Not today. Not today."
It's a day like any other. Time to get up, Rips, and that guy gets out of his hammock and he starts making his way up.
As Merrick does every morning once he hears this, he jolts awake, grabs his rapier, and runs out, just slashing at the nearest mast that he can find, feeling that he's under attack.
Durutar knows that he's coming, and he just as he's playing, eyes closed, sidesteps, and there he goes.
Warwick, how do you take to Merrick slashing up one of the masts that kind of power the ship.
Have you look at the mast? It's probably the only one on the boat that is marked up because I stopped trying a long time ago.
Do it.
Yes, you're kind of just in the back shaking your head, but not much you can
It's
do.
slight nicks. It's not going to cause any structure problem. It's a routine. It's kind of a funny story now. Like, we just let it fly.
I would like to remind everyone that Merrick is a gnome, so he is at best 3 foot on a really good day. He's not a strong individual. They're scratches. They're like a cat scratching on a scratch post. That's what that is.
Nobody really sees them because they're kind of at knee level anyways, so it's just kind of... It's like that damage on your wall. You just kind of know it's there, but you pretend it's not, and nobody sees it.
I like to think that as soon as he's done stabbing it, Billy just walks out with a bucket of spackle and is like, God damn it! Every morning!
I will say Billy is there with like mopping a broom and kind of keeping things tidy. So when you're done with your display of swordsmanship, Billy comes around and does clean up any of the chunks or splinters that come off. And
as Billy is on her hands and knees tidying up the deck, Merrick fully wakes up and says, excellent work, Billy. Pats her on the head and walks away.
Always.
Is an early riser, and he would have been surveying all of this chaos from I don't know, spot on the ship. On the top.
Yeah, so on the back of the ship above your quarters is like the steering wheel. What's it called? I don't know. The steering wheel next to the gas pedal. You're kind of standing up and you're surveying over your ship, and you're seeing this morning ritual that takes place, and
my favorite.
It's your favorite part of the day. Good. All right, so
And Warwick was actually up to fixing the damage from the fire too. He was up early.
okay, yeah. So Warwick makes his way down into the bottom of the ship, the hold of the ship, and you're kind of chunking off some of the big char marks on the boards, and doing your best to kind of patch where you can and just make sure that staying on top of it, staying ahead of any deterioration that might be taking place. Terrigan, as you are up in by the steering wheel of the ship, I feel dumb calling it a steering wheel, but that's what it is. Give me a perception. Give me a perception check as you're up there.
Nope, that's a 4.
Ooh, that's a 4. You just keep thinking about what you saw last night. With the way the sun's coming up, you can't really see it now, but you just keep thinking about those clouds that are in the distance and maybe what might be ahead of you.
Really quick, because I'm a level 6 barbarian, my secondary totem rage power is that I chose the eagle, so I can see perfectly and clearly up to a mile away.
Heck yeah, let's do this.
Allow me to roll perception.
Yeah. So you're hanging out next to Madfish, just you're waiting on food coming in so that you can get it prepped right away, knowing that you're kind of behind the 8 ball here with a lack of food. Go ahead and do your magic. What does this look like as you are eagle-eyeing it?
He feels a disturbance in the waves, and he takes a deep breath. Like an actual spiritual beak. Feathers kind of surround him, and just for a moment it's there, and then it's gone, and his eyes, they're open, and they are very... He looks out into the great wide open sea.
Okay.
And that... Check. Perception.
Do you get advantage on this, or do you get any... What does your totem provide?
That I can see perfectly?
I would say you don't even need to roll, but go ahead. Let's see.
Let me just double check the class features. Bear, eagle, you can see up to 1 mile away with no difficulty, and dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on your perception checks. Right. Total.
I'll say roll with advantage, and do we lose him?
I think so.
Dang it. We're going to say he rolled like 30.
While he's doing that, I'm just going to go stand by Terrigan and pretend like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so the both of you, like arms crossed, standing next to each other. There's like a 3-foot tall rail in front of you that, kind of, I would say, Merrick, it's, you kind of have to get on your tippy toes really to like look over this railing, but you're there. You look powerful.
Through the railing like a kid, just...
Does my head fit through the railing?
No, it's there are regulations.
Yeah.
You cannot fit your head through, but you could fit your arm through, but not your head. You could if you really forced it, but then it might get stuck, and
No.
you'd have to ask Duratar for some butter to kind of get your head out.
I feel like that would go badly for me, so no.
All right, so Duratar, I don't know what happened, but we're going to say he passed his perception check, and you guys know, you've seen him do this before. He's kind of going into this trance, his eagle eyes and beak kind of form on his face, seemingly. And he starts calling out. In front of him, he sees...
Oh.
We might get him back. There, we got him back.
First, apologies. Something went wonky there,
That's all right.
but I have returned.
Yeah,
So
what'd you
my
roll? We were speculating.
Unnatural 20 with or without advantage.
Okay, so you had 20. You do see something rise and fall out of the water. As the sun rises to your back and you're looking out on this early morning, you do see kind of... It's not a fish, and it's not like a dorsal fin, but you do see this grayish hump kind of rise up and then fall back in. And then a few seconds later, you see it rise up again. And you don't make out like a head is not coming out. It is just what seems to be this kind of hump, this humped mass kind of come up and down.
Like that at all.
I immediately
Like unnecessarily parkour, like off, like just stupid acrobatic shit all the time, and make my way over to.
Okay.
When
Duratar nods approvingly, gives you a smile.
when Tarragon does that, Merrick just calmly reaches up and grabs a hold of the, steering wheel.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, that's what
Just-
we're calling it.
Calmly holds onto it and just keeps it steady.
Good. And little do you know, she like put it in autopilot before she left, like or before he left, jumped over the rail. But you feel like you're doing something.
I'm important. I'm a part of the team, guys.
I would like to see her just bouncing around on the ship and just getting over all these obstacles. And I follow, but I just make sure to make like a wide round motion around everything she jumped over.
Yeah, keeping a good distance in between each piece, you're making your way over to this railing. And again, this railing on the side of the ship is about 3 feet tall. Duratar, you see every now and then as this massive gray hump comes out and falls down, you do see sticking on the other side of it, and it's kind of running parallel with your boat. And you see on the other side of it as it goes down, you see this golden rod that is coming out of the side of this massive gray body.
I checked the bottom of like face a bit closer. Do you see that?
Yeah, so as Duratar's kind of pointing it out to Tarragon, you do see this mask now come up, and with it it's rising up with it, you see this golden rod that is on the other side of it, kind of coming up with it and moving in the same motion. You can't really make out what it is, other than it is something that is not kind of natural or organic.
So this is along the side of the boat now. So so
your
ship see this?
Your ship is moving, and then off to the right side of it is this hump that keeps coming up and down, and coming out of it is that rod. And I would say all of you by now you are kind of like catching eyes of this.
So it's close enough to the boat that we can all kind of see this golden rod that's sticking out of this massive gray blob.
Yeah, it's about 50 yards, I would say, away from the ship, keeping a distance,
All right.
but it is there.
Merrick says, "Ooh, shiny," and runs away from the wheel.
Yeah, so are you parkouring over the rail, or are you going around down the stairs?
I parkour hard. I copy Tarragon.
All right, give me an athletics check just because we can.
Oh,
or acrobatics rather, acrobatics.
No, because you should is
mildly better. Hold on. 8.
8. Yeah, you push yourself up, and you're like gonna kick your legs up and over, but your left leg, the toe, your gnomish toe, just kind of catches, and you do kind of it's like Matrix style. You do this. Not a barrel roll where you're like tucking like Sonic the Hedgehog, but you're horizontal and you're rolling, and you land kind of on your side, but you don't take any damage. It looked kind of cool, but you did not mean to do it whatsoever.
Rotor glares down nearby disapprovingly.
Yeah, I gotta walk over and go. Does that feel good? You proud of yourself? Is that all right?
I think I've damaged my coccyx.
Oh my god.
Did somebody say surgery?
No, you know what? I feel much better. I'm all right. I stand up.
Rips, these legs aren't working. I think one's gotta go.
That sounds like medical to me.
Rips, I feed you. I feed your cat. Leave me be.
Fair enough. Now, I know we're all looking at this, what I can only assume is a great gray blob of bad. And it has a gold thing sticking out of it. And I know what we're all thinking. We're all making eye contact. Some of us a little longer than we should, but we're all looking at each other. And I think we all know someone's gonna go over there and get that gold pike. And now I have a few ideas.
Oh,
Leave Billy alone. No Billy.
Surgeon, explain yourself.
Alright. So it seems to be lodged in its back, so we're gonna have to cut that free. I have a lot of experience with cutting, and I just hold up my scalpel. Alright.
And then that I pick you up and I throw you onto the creature.
Well, it's very far away, so I have a second idea.
oh dear.
The cannon.
That would probably kill me, but we'll put that on.
Then we fire it.
Okay, let's put that on a back burner. Okay, hold on. What were my ideas? Hold on. Okay, I can wild shape into a small animal, and then maybe you could like me all the way. You could just yeet me off the side of this boat, and if you're real strong, maybe I could make it. That's so I can't transform into anything that can fly, right? Can't transform into anything that can fly. Hear me out, flying squirrel. It doesn't fly. It just kind of through the air.
It glides.
Yeah, it's a glider. So if you throw me hard enough, then I can down onto its back.
Now,
unwild shape into a human.
Like every time.
Cut.
Like that every time a plan is posed, it's like watching.
I get that sense and feeling. I do.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is 100% we're all in. Now, if that doesn't work,
the object of my projectile. Any loss in this plan.
Other idea.
As you guys are kind of making this idea, it seems like your paths are starting to converge now, like it is getting closer, but still moving forward. Not totally parallel, but it is eventually you're going to run into each other, and it does now get its head up out of the water, and you see this. It's a dinosaur head. It's got a longer beak, teeth, and jaws, and then probably like 10 feet from its head, you see that hump that you can only imagine there's some sort of neck that connects it to its head. Imagine that.
I've got it. I've legitimately got it. I know what we gotta do. Hear me out. This is so gonna work. No, hold on. No, this one is actually pretty good. Okay. I'm going to wild shape into the smallest animal I can wild shape into. You're gonna tie me to an arrow. You're gonna shoot that arrow over into the monster. I am going to cut that gold thing out. I am then going to tie the gold spear to another arrow, shoot that back to you guys, tie myself to an arrow, shoot it. As the arrow flies, wild shape into the small animal and catch a ride. How are we feeling?
Captain.
I hold on. Just time out real quick. I need the audience to know that basically this voice is coming out of Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
I need them to know. It's important. Okay, presume. Carry on.
Yeah, just imagine this is me. Yeah, Mr. Clean. That's the best image you're gonna get. Oh, with a hairless cat on my shoulder. Remember that part?
So, Rips, as you're talking about these arrows being tied together and shooting them across, Warwick, you know that there is a ballista at the head of the ship. That you do have larger arrows with enough rope that you could tie them to, and you could pierce it, like harpoon it. Or there is it's a mangonel, I think is how you say it, in the center of the ship that flings huge boulders, like type cannonballs that you could use. But there's not a way to tie ropes to them.
I'm gonna wild shape into a bear, and you're gonna launch me.
I am fully in favor of this plan.
Just load them into the ballista and just shoot them out that way.
I'm gonna have to fix that later.
Captain, I'm very good with arrows.
How close is this thing getting to the ship?
It's probably about 25 yards now, so it's half that distance that it was away, and you can get a better look now, and you can see as it comes up and down and its body kind of turns, you see a golden harpoon, or not a harpoon, a golden trident that is stabbed in the side of this swimming dinosaur, and then underneath it you see another one, golden trident that is stabbed inside it. There are two golden tridents as this thing is just going up and down.
Are these trident, like, is it like a trident that like we would hold, or is it
it's a normal human-sized trident.
I am a normal-sized
like
human.
Little Mermaid, legit. Like
yeah.
Captain, that is
Fancy
so much shiny.
pins for a pin cushion.
Duratar, you have no class. Captain, it's so much shiny. Let's go get it.
And Duratar, you would probably see this as like a huge stopgap in that missing food. Like if there is a way that you could kind of get this corralled and be able to, harvest it. The problem has been presented. Now I leave it to you.
Rips is killing me. He's sitting there with his hands up.
Rutar puts down his bagpipes. Takes a deep breath.
Yes.
Rage.
Ooh. All right. So Duratar is going into a rage.
Oh.
Are we launching a cleric?
No. Engage. My apologies.
Oh, sorry.
Granted.
He flies into a rage!
So I've got
you only to do that thing seconds later. Durotar Evelyn is going to now. Actually, let me double check. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't specify I have to use ranged or not. Do a reckless attack to get advantage on this attack.
All right. So, Rips, have you wild shaped?
Yeah, I'm gonna wild shape into a rat so he can easily tie me to that arrow.
All right. So he's
put the goal on my javelin.
Yep. You tie me to the javelin, and you have to leave just enough room so when I into the thing, I can on the ropes and get free.
Oh god. Okay, so Duratar, you get your javelin out and ready. You do fasten Rips, the converted form of Rips. I don't know, probably like a foot or so from the tip, and it is now. I will say we'll convert from yards to feet. It is now like 50 feet from the ship.
50 feet. I'm like, oh yes, a javelin will hit that nicely.
Oh no.
Okay, so go ahead and give
me surgeon.
Give me an attack roll with advantage because you are raging. This is scary, guys.
I've never felt more alive.
As they're figuring this out, I would like to turn to Terry and say, Captain, I would have done it, but I just simply cannot change my shape as good old Rips can. So just know that I would have done it for you.
I have no doubt, Merrick. Thank you.
Smiles proudly.
As I wild shape into this rat, you're just awestruck at how this is somehow the most disgusting rat you've ever seen. Also, can the rat be hairless?
Of course, you have
Fantastic.
all the control of your wild shaping form. This hairless rat has now been tied to the spear.
Can Merrick
Miles?
Can Merrick prepare his... He's just going to pull his bow out and hold it ready in one hand, and with the other hand, reach up and slowly grab onto Terrigan's head and just quietly hold it.
Good. Anybody else want to, like, ready in action?
Yeah, I'm going to ready something. So, I'm assuming like he's trying to catch it on the top of the arch.
Yeah, they're going to try to time it and get it well as it's cresting, and then plant this harpoon in it.
Right on. So
or this javelin.
This thing's been following us around, kind of catching the top of the water every time. If he misses the next arch, I'm basically going to ready and sprint off the banister railing, and I'm going to aim for one of the current harpoons and try and grab on.
Okay. All right. I'm going to roll the attack for
Wait, one sec. Before I die, because I just realized something. I forgot that this was going underwater.
And you've seen it come up and down enough. It's only underwater for, 15 seconds.
Okay.
Mechanically, how holding your breath works is you can hold your breath for 1 minute plus your Constitution modifier.
Perfect.
So, I mean, for the most part, you'll be able to come up as long as you can hold on. We'll see how that works in a second.
Yeah, that's not going to work out.
Terrigan, what do you got?
See, I'm lacking an appendage, so with Merrick holding my one hand, hated. So I will give his hand a gentle squeeze, and I want to hold out my hand. Is it close? Is it like within 15 feet?
No, it is 50 feet at this point, but getting closer. If you wait a few beats, it seems like it's gonna get close enough.
I'm gonna hold.
Can I ready an arrow just to shoot it towards the eye to try and drive this thing away if it gets too close to the boat?
Yeah.
Okay. Since someone's not holding my hand anymore.
All right. So Duratar rolled a 19 plus 8, so that's definitely going to hit. So Rips, you go flying through the air and you land kind of. So if you imagine there's a ridge on this beast, you land and pin on the other side, and you're almost direct opposite of the golden trident.
Okay, so I'm gonna chew through these restraints.
All right, give me a dexterity check just as you're trying to like gnaw down at this these ropes that are.
Okay, that's a 17 plus 19.
17.
19 sorry. Yeah, 19 total. Sorry.
Okay, I heard a 17 plus 19. Yeah, that's a million. Yeah, you're able to gnaw through. What do you want to do once you're kind of free? You're able to scurry down, and now you are like grasping on the back of this as it's just coming up out of the water.
Okay, as it's out of the water, I want to unwild shape into my human form.
Okay.
And then using my daggers, I'm just going to kind of crawl along his back towards the trident.
Yeah, now that you're human formed, like you could grab onto the javelin that you landed and the golden trident and use that. So you're kind of there straddling the ridge of this beast. So you wouldn't need to stab your daggers in. You can use those as handles.
What was the plan once he got there?
I don't think we that far ahead.
Is he to kill the beast? Is he to steal the tridents for me because he loves me? What was our plan?
Well, I think Tarragon would want the beast brought on board, and I think Merrick, you want the golden trident.
So Tarragon, you want me to do something about this? I fire an arrow at its eye.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me an attack roll. Merrick, give me an arrow shot as this.
So
as you see Rips land, gnaw himself free, and then grab on in now a human form. Give me an arrow shot and attack.
Partly out of fear for his good friend Rips, who he just adores, but mostly because he wants to impress Tarragon, Merrick grabs an arrow, fires towards the eye, and I rolled a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, how do I do this? Okay.
How do I do this?
Shit. That's 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. Wow, is that it?
It was really a bad roll.
Calling you out on
That's not great when the DM goes, that's all.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, so your arrow comes in kind of on the hind side of this beast as it's now beginning to go back under. Anybody else want to do anything before this submerges?
I turn to Tarragon and say, "Did I do good?"
Well, I'm so proud of you.
If you don't mind, I would like to do 2 things.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe... Yeah, I get an extra attack, so I just want to throw another javelin at this thing.
Okay, yeah, throw another one.
Still reckless attacking with advantage. That's actually not good. Well, that's not good. Let's see. Actions, attacks. That's a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Ooh, okay.
This is a big beast that is unarmored, obviously. So it's not hard to hit.
Okay, so that is 1d6 plus 5 plus 2 because I'm raging. So 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. So that is 11 points of damage there.
Okay.
Woo.
You show off.
What can I do? Do I have a bonus?
Only
action?
tripled the arrow that you shot. So this second javelin comes in, and now it's almost like it's just being like a pinpricked. It's now got 2 javelins on one side, 2 golden tridents on the other. And now it is starting to submerge, and you guys lose Rips for a minute as he goes underwater. And if we ever get him back, he'll give me a strength check. See if he can hang on. So what do you guys want to do? You do know that you have the ballistas with like harpoons that could keep it in a proximity. That takes some actions on people's part, but
is it possible for me to start yelling at the crew to man the weapons and start firing at the moment that thing breaches the surface again?
Yeah. So you start. Yeah, go ahead. You can bark those orders out, or if you don't have to roleplay that if you don't want. But
crew, man the ballistas! The moment that thing pops its ugly head out of the water, you fire those. You fire the cannons. You fire everything.
All right, so you see a scurrying of crew kind of get up on the ballista, and they start attaching rope to the first arrow, get it loaded in, and they are going to take a shot. Let's see, ballista. Have this ready. There it is. +6.
Mind rips.
Ooh. First ballista fire shot kind of goes wide. It goes north or too high from this because it just ducked down, and that misses. So they ready their action to get another one ready. In the chat, Rips said he rolled a 7 on his strength check.
Oh no!
So this is not good for old Ripsy. As this beast submerges itself and comes back up, Rips is not hanging on. He is not to be seen at this moment.
Can we see him anywhere? Is there any way to see him or no?
After a second or two, you do see him kind of fight up for air as he is now moved back on this beast, and he is on the tail of it, holding on.
I want to rush. Hang on, I need to see what do I got? Oh god. Oh no. Oh, that's not.
Shit.
I don't know if I'm proficient with it. We're just gonna wing it. If there's a javelin laying around, I want to grab that, and then I want to run over to some rope. I'm gonna hold the javelin, wrap my tail around it, and take my hand and start tying a rope to the javelin, and then I want to throw it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say you use your bonus action to kind of get that rope tied on there, and then you'll use your action to make this javelin throw. So go ahead and give me an attack roll with the javelin.
While she does that, can I yell at the crew and say, if you miss again, I will behead every single one of you. What was that bullshit?
Full weapon,
I'm gonna grab a few of the extra crewmen and go to the secondary weapons and start getting them to load that up.
Okay, yeah. So you're down, not on the upper deck, but you're down on the main deck, and you're kind of loading up and ordering crew members to get these cannonballs loaded into the mangonel that is going to be hurled at the beast.
I think
I'm thinking the room here. No, that's okay. Tarragon. This is not a spice.
Tarragon. That is a 14.
14 hits as you fire this javelin out. Now there are 3 javelins stuck on this side, almost like you could use them as handhold.
This would have I would have thrown it to Rips.
Okay,
because it has the rope tied, so I could pull him back in.
Okay, good. Even further back on the this dinosaur comes this javelin, hitting at kind of where the tail connects to its main body. Yeah, it's stuck in there and rips right in front of you as you're like kind of tree hugging this tail. You see this javelin land right inside.
No one has yet to get the trident out of this thing's back, right?
Nope. You lost grip as it submerged, and you slid back down on it. And there's been some other hits on it. It is this dinosaur is it's called a I don't know what it's called. It's called dinosaur. Is looking damaged, but it is still moving up and down with some vigor, and it seems to be moving almost a little bit faster now that it is taking this damage.
I want to look the captain in the eyes, and she sees that there's either salt water or tears just streaming from mine. And I'm also just hacking up water, and I'm like, "Don't worry, Captain! I'm getting the trident!" And I would like to continue climbing up this monster's back to go get that trident.
Yeah, give me a strength check that you can now like use your hands to kind of, ladder crawl using these javelins that are there. Warwick, go ahead and give me an attack with the mangonel. You're going to get a +5 to hit on this. I'll let you roll the dice.
That's a 21.
Oh, 21 definitely hits. You get 5d10 damage on that. Do you want to roll that?
Yeah, I can roll it.
Okay, while you're rolling that, Rips, give me a strength check to kind of...
That's a 15, baby.
Oh, 15. Yeah, you're able to kind of recenter yourself and get up. You are now back where you were before it went under, and you are hanging on to a javelin on one side and the golden trident on the other. But unfortunately, that is your action to get up there. So we'll kind of pause there. Give me some damage on the mangonel.
So that's 30 damage.
Whoa. Yeah, so 30 damage as this rips, as you're scurrying up on the side of it, right next to one of the javelins, just this huge cannonball comes in and just bludgeons the side of this, and it almost knocks it off course, and it spins a little bit, and it is getting ready to submerge again. Merrick, you want an action here? We're kind of loosey-goosey here with the initiative here, so we're kind of...
Yeah, okay. I will... I'll take another shot with the bow and arrow, I suppose, here.
Yeah.
Actually, instead of that, can I go over to one of the ballistas and kind of boot the guy that's manning it out of the way and just try and shoot that myself?
Yeah, you want to take a ballista shot. Go ahead. Yeah, you kind of bully your way in there and kind of elbow him out, and you can make an attack roll. It's a +6 to hit.
Watch how this is done, chaps. It's a 15?
Ooh, yeah, that hits. So this huge arrow, this ballista arrow is coming out and driving towards this, gets it right in the side, in the rib cage, and the rope is not quite taut, but you do have a rope now attached to it outside of just that javelin one. You get to roll 3d10 for the damage on this guy.
Ooh, that's so fun.
That's a lot.
I like fun things. So that's 18 damage.
Woo. 18 damage. Rips, as you are like hanging on and you feel what was once this heaving body that kind of inhale, exhale, it kind of stops and you start to slowly sink as this the life is extinguished from this Plesiosaurus. That was the killing blow. What do you want to do, Rips, as this thing starts to sink under? And then Warwick and Merrick, think of what you want to do with the harpoon that is tethered to it.
I
Rips,
came
go
here
ahead.
for this goddamn trident. I'm getting this trident. I would like to tear this thing right out of its
All
side.
right. Yeah, so give me... You do see two of them. They are kind of like right next to each other, pierced in the side. You want to do one at a time, or you want to kind of free both hands and get both?
I feel like a god. I'm going 2 for 1.
All right, so give me a strength check to kind of pull these out.
Okay, that's a 13.
Okay, a 13. You're able to. You got to kind of wiggle them out a little bit. They are the barbs in the harpoon is holding, but you're able to, after a second or two, pull them out, and just in time as it fully submerges, and you're kind of like now floating with 2 golden tridents in your hand.
I did it, Captain. I deserve a raise.
Warwick and Merrick, you got this. The rope that is attached to that harpoon that you shot is now starting to get tighter as this dinosaur starts to sink into the water.
I would like to yell to the crew, "Come on, lads! Grab it and start pulling! We can do it together!" And start yanking rather uselessly at this rope.
All right, Durotar, are you want to join in on this?
Durotar is going to assist in dragging in this creature.
Okay.
Is this a strength or athletics
Yeah.
check?
This would be a strength check. So Durotar, we'll let you do the roll since you're one raging, so you get advantage on that strength check. We'll let you do the roll with advantage doubly if that's a thing. It's not. But
Imagine-
All right.
inhale.
That would
Exhale.
be a 24.
24. You're able. You kind of just wrap your arm around it and get it up around your forearm and in the crook of your elbow and your bicep, and you're able to almost single-handedly pull this up. Other people feel their job is like too easy; they're just casually pulling, and you're just like, if you've ever pulled crab pots out of the ocean, it feels like that. You're just pulling and tugging, and you get this this huge mass of a body starts to kind of now is up next to the boat, like a bumper on a boat would be. It is there, and other people start to roll other ropes around it and kind of get it secured. So now you have this Plesiosaurus.
Awesome. As I pull that in, as I give it one final yank to pull up towards the ship so we can get it and cut it and start cooking this thing for rations, I look to the captain and I give a very charismatic wink.
We did it, Captain.
As they look over the side, can Rips just be standing on this body holding his tridents like, I did it!
Yeah, you're able to put both tridents in one hand and kind of grab onto one of the scales upon its spine and just kind of like be pulled up with it. And yeah, you get yourself on top, and you do have 2 +1 tridents.
Gimme. Mine.
They are
Yes.
golden in nature.
We are good friends. Give it.
Okay.
No.
Thank you, Rips. Welcome back aboard.
I do get one of these fancy ones for myself, correct?
Of course, you retrieve them. I just get the second one, as always.
Okay.
Oh my
I put the stats for
Durotar just shakes his head disapprovingly.
I love it. I'm naming my trident Catherine.
I was so hoping that was going to go bad. I had this whole plan.
Oh, it could have gone bad, but those ship weapons did a lot of the bulk for you. So yeah, you guys are now. I'd say it's like 10 o'clock in the morning at this point.
What a morning.
Durotar, are you going to spend some time kind of taking care of this beast?
Yes. Yeah, he would.
All
A
right.
little
Yeah.
kick in his step.
In your lovely new renovated kitchen.
Chop.
Yeah, so you take some time kind of cleaving off the big bits that you can kind of get down into the galley down below and you know, kind of dry some for rations. You can have some fresh pieces for, you know, tonight. What's everybody else doing as Duratar's kind of taking care of this?
Merrick would like to walk Rips back to, you know, a spot where he can sit down, relax, and just the whole way over. Just, you did such an amazing job, my friend. You were so amazing. I couldn't believe it. Whiskey was entirely safe the whole time. Don't you worry about your little kitty. He was quite fine. It's such a wonderful job.
I'm so glad I had someone like you on the ship and then I just vomit seawater.
Well, that's disgusting. Let me get Billy for you. Billy!
God, anyone but Billy.
Billy's there with like mop and bucket, kind of cleaning up the mess that Duratar is leaving on the main deck. Merrick, what do you need?
There's vomit here. I don't like it. Get rid of it, please.
Okay. And she kind of like shrugs the shoulders, walks over and starts mopping up this Rip's vomit that is on the deck.
Billy, there's a whole bunch of blood and gore on the deck over there. What are you doing? This
God
is obviously not a
damn it,
pressing
Billy!
priority. Go and get the blood and gore off the,
boy
deck. What
can
are you
only
doing?
do so much. If you wish
It's a
to
young
assist
lady.
him,
Be
then
nice.
take up a mop.
I'm working as fast as I can.
Helping.
The captain is. Such a good captain.
And as they're doing all this stuff, I'm kind of watching the commotion, and I'm walking around collecting all the ropes and stuff we've used during the battle, and repairing anything that's got damaged, and kind of give Billy a pat on the back for a good job to give him some extra, you know, just let him know he's doing good and he's not, you know, useless on this crew, and that the little bit of extra good feeling. So just doing the routines and making sure the ship is in tip-top shape.
Nice. Much like Billy does most of the time, this nonverbal kind of nodding. Warwick, you come in and you reload both the guns on the ship and kind of get the ropes
you got it.
all sorted out and everything, just so in case something else happens, you're ready to go. Terrigan, as this is all happening and people are kind of cleaning up, you see first those clouds that you saw last night in your as you were checking the skies, and I guess in all the commotion, nobody else really caught it, but you are now getting close to heading into this thick fog that is kind of filling your view, and the air begins to cool and chill around you, and it kind of chills your lungs as you inhale. The wind begins to sweep across the deck, drying out your eyes as it crosses your face. Your vision seems to become blurry, but as you rub your eyes, you realize that it's just kind of the density of this fog, like this mist that is coming in. The sound of the ocean begins to fade away from your ears. All of what you're feeling are the same feelings that you were told when you were back on shore. So you must be near this wreckage site. All the warnings that you were given back on shores, like senses kind of get numbed, and you enter this thing, you know, kind of Bermuda Triangle kind of feel, as everything, all the senses kind of deaden, and you just feel like you're in this weird kind of area now.
What was the name of that fisherman fella?
That was Madfish.
I want to walk up to Madfish and slap him on the back real hard and go, "Aye, the weather be changing."
It seems that we might be here. Terrigan, you are getting this.
Get ready to drop the anchor.
Get ready to drop the anchor.
Get ready to drop the anchor.
This feels far too familiar.
So drop the anchor then. And one of the crew members like sarcastically yells, "Are we dropping the anchor?"
Did you dare to question your captain's orders?
Not a question, just confirming.
Captain, are we dropping anchor?
You feel with pretty good certainty that this is kind of where you need to be.
Drop the anchor.
Drop the anchor!
Drop the anchor.
Okay, dropping the anchor. So you see crew members kind of unleash the anchor that is tied up, and it starts feeding all this rope and about 100 feet of rope go down before it kind of stops. And then they give it a tug, and it seems to be secure.
I lean over to old Grizzlefish and go like, these idiots shouldn't have dropped the anchor.
Well, the captain said, drop the anchor.
Merrick would like to go down to the armory and start to gather up the various underwater apparel that we have and the water breathing potion.
All right. Yeah, so down there in the armory, there are, happens to be 5 potions of underwater breathing. That gives you underwater capabilities and a swim speed equal to your walking speed for 1 hour. I did post the Cloak of the Manta Ray in the chat. That gives you a swim speed of 60 feet, so one of you is going to be able to swim a little bit faster.
Can I determine who gets what?
Or should I? You're the one as the first mate. You are the one in charge of the armory. There is a helm of underwater action that does give dark vision up to 60 feet and a 30 feet swimming speed if somebody does not have dark vision.
I'm going to assume that our human friend does not have dark vision. Is there anyone else that doesn't?
I do not. Also, if it matches your walking speed, I can swim at 40 feet. 40 feet.
Okay.
How fast am I? 45 feet!
Oh, yeah, you're a monk.
I forgot.
Yeah, so that
40 feet from me.
If you put the helm on, it would not negate your. If you have 40 feet of swim speed, it would not negate that and make it a 30. You would still stay with the 40.
Well, I have 25 feet of movement.
You gnome.
So.
Short legs.
I'm just gonna have Rips carry me around. It's fine. I'll distribute each of the potions to each of our lovely band of misfits here. The Helm of Underwater Action. So, sorry, remind me what that is again?
It gives you dark vision up to 60 feet.
Okay.
And since all of you, I mean, if you take it, you would gain 5 feet of movement. But if anybody else takes it, they would just get the dark vision.
I'm going to give the helm to Warwick, because you're human, right, Warwick?
You would be correct, my friend.
All right, so I'm going to give that to Warwick, because he seems to be the one that actually knows what he's doing with this sort of nonsense. And then, of course, I will give the lovely Cloak of the Manta Ray to my darling captain. What a wonderful, the most magnificent terror.
Merrick, you flatter me. Are you sure that none of our other passed?
You are amazing. I don't know. And so I'll just let you decide what to do with it. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. I walk away.
Isles to himself.
So I will be blind if we go underwater. I don't have dark vision. So what I'm thinking is, I'll stay up here and guard all the food and valuables we've already collected. And you guys can head down there into the dangerous part.
If we meet with a untimely demise in the depths, I
will carry your story.
You meet the same fate.
Well, I thought that was going to be sweeter, but sure.
Rips, you just come with us. I need you to protect me and watch my back.
Okay, but I won't be able to see.
That's fine. You feel around, just poke at things that aren't me.
Did we not have an item that would provide dark vision to creatures that did not possess such an ability?
Just the one, and it went to Warwick.
Okay, so what could work? I got some options here. I could become an animal that has dark vision, and then I'll eat the thing that makes me breathe underwater, and you could have an underwater chicken or whatever has dark vision. I don't know. I'll have to look them up.
Oh man, I don't know. What is the CR rating that you can change into? Do you know?
Not good. 1 second.
I can't remember. Yeah, so you look that up because I'd be totally game with you doing that. Anything else anybody wants to do?
Max CR of 1/4.
Oh, yeah. 1/4. Let's see. So you could be an axebeak, a boar, a constrictor snake, a cow. There is a.
Which of those has
Obviously
dark
cow.
vision?
You
go
can
for
be.
a cow.
We do have a spare potion now with my helmet, so we could feed
that
that
is true.
potion to the cow, and he'd be fine.
I'm trying to see if there's one that swims.
I
Giant
think
frog.
I think this. Hold on.
A giant frog has dark vision.
Okay, that could. Hold on, this could work. Now, what I'm thinking is, I'll carry the gnome in the giant frog's mouth, and then you can use me like a human submarine.
Yes. Will I die?
It will smell bad.
Oh,
Very froggy.
I don't. All right, throw me in.
I like it.
All right,
Durotar just puts a hand on Tarragon's shoulder. I'm very sorry.
Oh, it's quite all right. No worries.
Is the gnome bothering you?
No.
Not yet. He's not in my mouth.
You are not involved in this conversation.
Ribbit.
So I assume that you have transformed into this frog.
Ribbit.
All right, perfect. And I posted the stats for that in the Discord. So you do have a swim speed. You can breathe. You can you have some dark vision. Okay. Anything anybody else wants to do before you prep this underwater excursion?
Durotar will lean down to the captain. If the gnome bothers you, do let me know.
Listen, then I changed my mind.
He nods. And he gets his weapons ready with a very malicious grin.
Real fast. So it says here that swallow is actually an attack for the frog.
Yeah, just don't swallow while the old gnome's in there.
So if I swallow the frog, he's gonna take 2d4 acid damage at the start of every turn. And when you're inside of a frog, I think that means every 6 seconds.
So I'm going to ride on the back.
Yep, that's pretty. Yep. Problem
Or
solved.
we could say that you're just like nestled in the mouth and not actually like swallowed into. Or you can ride on the back.
I'm gonna ride on the back. We're just gonna take a rope. We're gonna make a little harness, and I'm gonna ride on the back.
Yeah, you now have a little frog harness.
Ribbit.
And it's actually like a perfect sized
Food
like
frog.
amount for you as a gnome. Being a small creature, the giant frog is medium sized. So yeah, you fit on and you're ready. Anybody else want to
Hi
do
ho,
anything?
Silver! Ho hey!
Please tell me you have a naked cat scarf while you're riding this frog.
Of course.
Hey,
Why wouldn't
Captain.
you?
The cat gets the other potion.
Oh, there you go.
Problem solved.
Is this where you saw your life heading?
The captain is shaking her head in his head in disappointment at us.
As she stares at the gnome climbing on the back of the frog.
I don't see any problems.
All right, how do you guys want to exit this boat? You want to do it like scuba diver style back over, or you just jackknife?
I'm doing like Assassin's Creed style, like just straight up dive.
All right.
I would like to kick the sides of the frog that I'm on as if I'm riding a horse while
Yes,
yelling,
right.
hey, yeah!
I am going to jump off the ship in like in a scuba diver style to make sure that he just gets smacked by the water.
Yeah, so as you,
I like that the gif of the cat where it like goes to jump but it doesn't go anywhere. It's just
as you
Durotar
spur
cracks his
the
neck.
side of this frog, go ahead, Durotar. Sorry.
No, sorry. He stretches his muscles. Just another day closer to death, and he just jumps in.
Okay. As everybody kind of lands and hits this water, Merrick, you are kind of back first. But everybody else can give me a perception check as you kind of like adjust your eyes here.
Oh shit!
I don't know what die to use. I'm scared of all of them.
That's a 16 for Warwick.
Okay, 16.
Natural 20 for Darutar.
That's an unnatural 20 for Rips, the frog.
Oh no, I'm ready to disappoint y'all.
Uh-oh. Keep it going. Keep it going. 4 this time. That's even not as good as...
Perception, right?
Yeah. All right, so everybody but the captain. Go ahead, Ward.
I must say, I do enjoy the fact that the DM is just ruthlessly laying into our roles this evening.
I love it.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, sorry.
You do? It's lovely.
So everybody but Merrick and Tarragon, you kind of make out the outline of the ship. It's about 100 feet down, kind of nestled in between 2 kind of craggy coral structures. I posted it in the chat there. You do see that the mast has been broken off and is laying next to it. As you're immediately met, as you're kind of acclimate here, the cold water of the sea. Your face kind of becomes numb a little bit. Your joints begin to tighten as that cold water just kind of settles in around you. Your eyes take a second to adjust, and as they finally do, you blink into and see this outline. Once you take a second and center yourself in your new surroundings, you see this new world. It's almost beautiful. These colorful coral landscapes, these 2 mountainous coral crags that kind of flank the side of this ship. There's these kelp beds that lie around it at the bottom. There's just wildlife unknown that's kind of moving around. You do see like darkened shadows in the distance. You do see some other schools of fish that are kind of fluttering in and out. It almost takes you a second to realize that you don't need to hold your breath. So you're under there, and all of you instinctively are kind of, except the frog maybe at this point, are kind of like holding that breath in, and your face is almost turning red, and then all of a sudden you're like, it clicks in like, oh yeah, I can breathe, and you kind of take in this big this magical arcane sense of air that comes in and fills your lungs, and it begins to start to warm everything up around you. Your joints start to kind of feel it a little bit, and your face becomes now there's like blood flow happening, and you're kind of like, just take a second and float there. As you start to descend and you get closer to the ship, you do see that it is much like your ship, only smaller in length. It's got a front upper deck, and it's got the back deck, and it's got some stairs that go down to a main deck. And then right in the center, there is a hatch that goes down, and covering that hatch is old, degraded like cargo netting and ropes that are only covering about half of it, and the other bit is open that you could seemingly pass through. So as you guys approach this, how are you doing this?
Sorry, how big is the opening that we can see there? Like the part that's not covered by the mesh and stuff?
It is 15 foot wide and 10 foot long, and from what you can see, it's probably you can't really make out how deep it goes down. It gets a little dark there. And as you get closer, there are 2 doors that lead down into what would be like the lower deck of the ship. So there is the cargo hole, or there are doors that go down.
I would like the frog to gesture to myself and the one on my back, and I kind of play a little game of underwater charades of basically what I'm trying to get across is, we'll go check it out.
Okay, yeah. So, Merrick, do you spur him along even further?
Oh, I give him a good old kick in the side.
All right. As you get closer, you do see the ship is just covered in barnacles, front to back, and the top deck of the ship there's nothing on it really, other than just some like loose kelp and some sea debris, but there are no like man-made boxes or barrels, or other than that, the tattered cargo net over the hull.
A question for you, sorry, real quick here. With the underwater breathing, obviously we can just breathe underwater. We cannot communicate with each other, right? It's just hand gestures and signals, that sort of thing.
We're playing loose rules on the underwater combat here, kind of like Rips just did. He described what he was going to do in words, and then added, I gesture, all of that. And I'm totally cool with that. Otherwise, it becomes a mute thing for a while. So yeah, like describe what you're going to do, how you would do it, and we'll make it happen.
Okay. As we're riding down towards the opening, I assume that Rips is taking us to, I would like to make eye contact with Durotar and point to him, point to the barnacles, and then just, like, miming eating food, like, go get it!
All right, so as Rips and Merrick are heading down, are you guys heading towards the cargo hole or just the deck itself?
I was going for the cargo hole.
Okay, all right, so as you're heading there, what's everybody else doing? I imagine they kind of squirm in front of everybody as everybody else kind of gets acclimated.
I'm
Warwick,
going to follow behind. Like,
Okay.
just kind of tagging along as they kind of head in first. I'll just kind of keep a few body lengths back and
Okay.
follow them slowly.
Okay, and what kind of weapon do you have?
Longsword and a scimitar.
Okay, do you have the
Both
scimitar?
hanging off my hip.
Do you have the scimitar in your mouth as you're swimming?
I do now.
Yeah, you have to now. All right, yeah. So you got both your weapons kind of at the ready as you're kind of struggling to keep up. The frog it's a little more agile under here, but you're able to keep that length. Terrigan, how are you liking it underwater, and what are you doing?
Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because of the. How are you liking it under the water? Do you enjoy it? Is it fun? Are you having a good time? It just caught me off guard.
Drop us a rate on Yelp.
Oh my god. Going towards the cargo hold is always a bad idea. No, I'd probably be next to Warwick.
All right. Yeah, so you two are kind of like parallel, fluttering together behind the frog and Merrick.
And as I'm going down, can I actually kind of do a glance over the boat and try and kind of get an idea of what took this ship down?
Yeah, give me a perception check as you're just trying to get an overall view of that. And while you do that, Durotar, what are you doing?
So that's a 16. So
Okay, yeah, 16. You can see a couple things here. You could see that the mast or the sail mast pole thing is broken, and all of the sails itself are nowhere to be found. You do see, and this looks more like post crash, you do see towards the front right of the ship, like front passenger side of the ship, is a hole that maybe a gnome-sized creature could fit through. But other than that, it is kind of like formed around the coral that has punctured a hole in there. But there is enough room that a smaller person or creature could come in and out as they please.
but there's no damage that would indicate otherwise that this thing just crashed in a storm or something like that.
Yeah. So what you're kind of getting is a storm kind of broke that masthead, took the sails with it, and judging by like the eeriness and kind of the feeling up topside, that maybe it wasn't so much all natural. Like there was something else here that kind of played a hand in the sinking of the ship.
Perfect.
All right, is Durotar, are you back, or are you 1, 2, 3? No, okay.
I'm back. Sorry, there it is.
Okay, there you are. All right, what are you doing as everybody else is approaching the ship?
Let's see. Darutar wants to look around to see if there are any threats.
Okay, yeah, give me a perception check as you're. So right now we have Rips and Merrick in the front. We got Warwick and Terrigan behind them. Where are you in relation to everybody else?
I think I'm going to watch the rear.
Okay, so you're even further back, kind of getting this helicopter view of the area. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
That would be a 17.
Yeah, 17. So around the ship, kind of strewn about, you do see kind of some mounds of sand that seem to be covering something. You can't really tell if it's a threat or not, but it is kind of out of place. And like I said earlier, you do see like some shadowed figures like far off in the distance. But other than that, you don't get any immediate threat.
Better safe than sorry. I would stab it if I were you.
I'm going to prepare an action to go into a rage and launch
a javelin towards it if it moves.
Okay. Yeah. So as
Or
you're
if something gets a little too close, or if something moves
Okay.
a little too fast.
all right, perfect. So you're slowly descending down the rips, and Merrick, you first touch down on the deck of the boat, that main deck right in the middle, outside of the hatch, the cargo hold. Go ahead and give me a perception check. I assume you're looking down in it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I shouldn't assume.
Definitely looking down into it, seeing what I can see there.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and give me perception checks as you're kind of looking and getting a bigger piece. And then shortly after you guys land, Terrigan and Warwick, you guys touch ground right behind.
I am excited to announce the first nat 1 of the night.
Oh
No,
thought
I
it
already
was
had a
funny.
nat 1. I took that from you.
Well, looks like I don't have anything.
Don't steal this from him.
I'm gonna.
All right. So
I rolled a 16.
Yeah, Rips, you don't see shit. Merrick, you see that it goes down probably like 10 feet into the lower hold. I mean, you know the makings of a ship. You know that there's going to be a floor down there, and it's rather dark in there, and you can't really see much more than that. There is a bottom, and it goes down about 10 feet.
So even with my dark vision, I can't see too far ahead of me, or is?
Sorry, yeah, you have dark vision. Dur. So below, you do see this. Why would I keep this from you? You see this hulking bit of metal that's got it's almost like a drum, and it's got these legs that come out of it on the side. It almost looks like a crab, but it is very constructed and metal-like, and you're assuming this is what you came looking for, this apparatus of the crab. It is down and chained to the ground, to the deck, and it is starting to rust. It has some of the wear and tear of just being in the seawater, but it is, as in comparison to everything else on the ship, it is in rather good condition.
Can I get a little closer and see if I can see any sort of traps or anything that's on this thing, or?
Yeah, so as you peek your head under there, let me add a new picture to the chat here.
Just kind of cautiously working my way into the hold here.
Yeah, so now you peek your head down. You do see stairs that go up. As you kind of look down and around, you can assume those head up to the top deck. You do see some rooms and a hallway towards the back side. You do see a door cutting off the front side. And this apparatus is chained to the middle of the room, and it does have a big lock on it. I
would like to cautiously.
I should say you do see in the passenger side, you do see that the hole, HOLE, and the hole, HULL, and it gets dark really quick heading off that way.
I would like to very cautiously approach the lock and attempt to pick that with my thieves' tools.
Okay, so as you descend down into Rips, are you hanging up topside, or are you coming down with him?
Isn't he on my back?
I imagined you kind of...
Oh yeah, no, where he goes, I go.
Dismounted.
No, where he goes, I go.
Okay, so both of you go down into the whole lower deck. Terrigan and Warwick, what are you guys doing as you see two of your party members go down?
I'm gonna stay up top and keep watch and kind of keep checking underneath. I'm assuming with the dark vision now that helmet gives me that I can kind of peer in and kind of get an eye on them every once in a while. But I want to make sure that nothing's coming from the outside.
All right, perfect.
I would like to indicate, just hold back. Give us a moment, sort of idea. Just like put my hand out, like just stay.
Okay.
Let us go ahead and take the risk here.
Okay.
I would be taking my quarterstaff and perhaps hags. Is there anything? I like checking the seaweed because I've just heard weird shit, making sure nothing's hiding.
Okay, so do you go outside of the ship? So I would say Duratar is on the north side of the ship where the broken mast is. Are you going with him? Or are you staying on top? There's not a whole lot of growing seaweed as in forest blinding vision on the deck of the ship. But if you get
Things can hide. I'm just
Okay.
like,
okay,
there's nothing
yeah.
to watch.
All right, so you're just watching the nooks and the crannies of the ship and trying to see, what's coming out. So Merrick, as you go down and you get your lockpick out, I assume.
Yeah, just pulling that out of the little pouch there and just trying to pop that open.
All right, perfect. So as your lockpick kit touches, Duratar, you see one of those mounds of sand start to rustle a little bit, and out of it pops this skeletal hand that's like puts its hand on the side, and then up pops this other skeletal hand, and it is slowly like rising from the sand.
I look over to and just give a nod and look back at the skeleton, like, let's go.
Okay. So
Okay.
Duratar's got it. Tarragon, you see it happening. Warwick, you see it happening. Merrick and Rips, you don't hear it happening, but yeah, you're doing your thing. Go ahead and give me. We'll do this in some chunks here. Merrick, go ahead and give me a lockpick check. That's going to be a D20 plus your
Sleight of hand.
proficiency.
See, yeah.
Oh, is it proficiency or is it sleight of hand?
I believe it's proficiency. So because you actually have the
Tools.
piece.
Yeah.
But if you want to do sleight of hand, I don't care.
No, that's fine. It's a 14.
14. Is that adding your dex as well? Let's add your dex as well.
Oh, add my dex as well?
Yeah.
My dex modifier or
Yeah, your dex modifier.
15.
Well, I'm glad we did that. So you're able, it takes you a second. You got to kind of dig out some of the crusties and the barnacles that have kind of made it their home on this lock. But once you do that, you're able to kind of get it and wiggle it in, and that lock does pop off. And as soon as that breaks and snaps, you see coming out of that hallway to the backside of the ship, you do see a skeleton kind of crawling towards you. So let's go ahead and roll initiative at this point, I think. Oh, let's do it.
Rip it.
17.
17 for Warwick.
God almighty.
3 for Rips.
15.
15?
17 was Merrick, actually. It's
7.
15 for Warwick.
Oh, gee. Warwick Davis.
Thank you.
What about Duratar?
Oh, that's not good. That's an 8.
8. All right. So we got Merrick. You're up first.
How far away is? Sorry.
Followed by Warwick, and then Tarragon. Oh, and then we got Rips. You're bringing up the rear. All right, Merrick, you are up first.
So how far away from me is that delightful skeleton?
Let's see. It is. I'm assuming you're on the northern side of that apparatus. It is probably 20 feet away from you at this point. It's coming down the hallway. It's on all fours. You can't really, or not on all fours. It's just like military crawling up to you.
So I can see it, no problem though. I have a clear line of sight. Okay.
Yep.
What do I want to do here? I would love to be able to take my brand new trident and just hurl that thing right at it.
Okay. So go ahead and make an attack roll with the trident. It's going to be proficiency plus dex plus 1 because it's a plus 1.
Proficiency plus dex plus 1. Okay. So 13. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits a skeleton as it's crawling its way towards you. In one hand, it does have a sword. And it kind of comes in and it just pierces it through its rib cage and kind of pins it to the ground. You get a D6 piercing damage plus your dex plus 1.
Oh, well, that's a 6, so that's 8 total.
8 total. Yeah, it's sitting there, kind of held in place now, but it's still snapping its jaw and it's starting to try to wiggle free and crawl towards you.
So it's locked in place?
Yeah, well, until
Sort
its
of.
turn, and then
Yeah.
it's kind of. You have movement and bonus action if you'd like.
So the bonus. Oh, for sneak attack. Sorry, does that mean if he hasn't gone?
He knows you're there,
Okay.
unless you have, unless there's something special in your subclass that gives it to you for acting first. I would
Once
believe.
per turn, you can deal an extra 3d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack with a finesse or ranged weapon. If you have advantage, I don't have advantage on.
Yeah,
the
you don't have
attack.
advantage. He knows you're
Never
there. If he was engaged with one of your party members, then you would get that sneak attack. But in this case, no.
Sorry, I forgot that. So bonus action, I really can't do much. I'm going to. Where is Rips in relation to me?
I believe he's top side of the apparatus next to you.
So I'm just gonna move slightly so that I'm kind of not fully blocking his view, but just sort of position myself as kind of a shield for his little frog form there and trying to protect him a little bit.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Warwick, on the top deck, you see that mound start to kind of rustle, and you see those skeleton arms come up and starting to pull itself out. And at this point, it's like from rib cage down, or rib cage up is exposed. Excuse me.
I go head on at it with my longsword and my scimitar drawn. So, charge full force.
Yeah, you jump off the deck and you just start like jettison yourself, kind of push off the side of the boat, and you kind of are propelled with sword in hand, flying torpedo towards the skeleton. Go ahead and give me a attack roll there.
Oh, yeah, there's a nat 1 for the first one.
Ooh, so yeah, first attack, your sword kind of sticks in the sand right next to it. Good. Second attack.
Second attack's much better. That is a 23.
Yeah, 23. You're able to kind of drive down this. Is this your scimitar on the second attack?
This is the longsword still.
Okay, longsword come down and cleave like right in the corner of its neck and breaking through its clavicle bone and just kind of shattering it a little bit. Roll that damage.
That is big old. What is that? 9.
9 points of damage.
Not terrible.
It takes a bit. It's still like it's trying to get itself up, kind of pushing itself up now. But one arm is like hacked off, so one arm is now trying to get himself out of this hole. He's still there, but not looking too hot.
With my bonus action, yeah. So as a two weapon fighter, I can kind of flourish with the longsword and I come back with the scimitar and swing for a third strike.
Cool, do it.
That is 17.
Yeah, it definitely hits.
That's 9 more.
Oh yeah, you come up, undercut this the scimitar up through it, and kind of like split it right down chest in half, and it was struggling, and now it just like is falling down back into its watery grave. I
look over to my captain and just give a little wink and a smile, and kind of your turn.
Terrigan, it is now your turn, and you see 15 feet next to that mound, you see another mound start to move, and a skeleton start to pull itself up. So there's one more at least out there.
How far is that second one?
We'll say it's 20 feet off of the edge of the ship. So if you move, I think 5 feet to the edge of the ship, it's another 20 feet. And
okay, I'm gonna go after the second one.
Okay, and you're gonna get in melee with it.
I'm gonna go attack. Just
you're cutting out, Cole.
Pop.
All right. I assume you're gonna hit it with your quarterstaff. Did you roll attack?
Okay,
so
cool. First one absolutely misses. That was 2 + 5. That's 7. So okay, this die is grounded. Goodbye.
Yeah, get it out.
That's the sad part. Please don't fuck me. Hey, all right. It's.
What'd you roll?
18 + 5.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, and that's a D6.
Your unarmed strike is a +5. It's a D6 + 2.
Okay, so that's 6 blows.
Okay.
I'll roll again. Ooh. The 10.
10 to hit. That does not hit. All right, we'll pin her finishing her attacks here. Down below the deck, Rips, you see out of the corner of your eye, coming out of that cavern towards the upper right of the ship, you see coming out of this cavern this tentacle start to weave its way around and towards you.
How big is this thing?
The tentacle starts rather small, but then it kind of tapers wider, and it is rather long, and it is fishing its way out. And
Okay, so the likelihood that I would be able to swallow this thing is minuscule at best, is what I'm
Oh
hearing.
my god.
Yeah, it is rather long at this point as it gets to you.
Okay, alright, hold on, let's see here.
Okay,
yeah, I guess we're just gonna bite him.
Well, it's actually the tentacle's turn.
Oh, I
It's not
thought you
your
were
turn
telling
yet.
us my turn. Okay.
No, sorry. So it is going to come out and try to grab onto you. 17. I don't know what your armor class is, Rips.
Yeah, it turns out frogs don't have the highest natural armor. That hits hard, baby.
Okay. You are going to take... you take 6 damage as this tentacle wraps around you and starts to like squeeze a little bit like a constrictor.
And I am grappled.
Yeah, you would be grappled at this point. We'll pause there. Terrigan, are you back?
Yes.
Okay. One of your attacks missed. I think I got that.
Yes. And then my second one.
Okay.
Y'all are not going to believe this, but it is a natural 20.
That's what we like to hear.
Plus
I'm glad
5.
you're back with us. All right. So yeah, you definitely hit. Roll the damage dice. Double that damage dice.
Okay. Pop. That's a 6. So that's 12. 14 points of
14.
damage.
You're able, where your first punch missed, you're able to now just kind of uppercut this skeletal head that is trying to pull itself out and snarl at you, and its head just flies off and is now like slowly floating back down to the sandy bottom, and the rest of its body falls down. Your movement's done. I think you used your bonus action. Yeah. All right. So that's the end of your turn. You dispatch this skeleton in kind of one punch there. Your captain is one punch back. The skeleton that is coming towards Merrick it's able to kind of pull out that trident and come up to you now. It's now like on the ground coming up to you. It's going to take a swipe with its short sword. That's a natural 17 plus 4 as it comes down. It gets you right in the heel.
Ow.
That's going to be 4 slashing damage as he swipes across you, and that is his turn.
I'm unimpressed.
The other one outside by Warwick comes up. He's going to take a swipe at you as he's kind of half his body is out. He's only got one arm left, but he's going to fight and punch you. That's going to be a 14. Warwick, I don't know your AC. You're on mute.
Oh, that hits me for sure. Just
14. Let's see. That's 5 slashing damage as he comes in and
I'll
gets you.
Parry that.
Ooh, what does that mean?
So with the reaction, I can actually parry with a maneuver. So I can roll on my superiority dice to actually lessen the damage.
Okay.
Which is down by 3, so it reduces to 2.
All right, so 2 damage, barely just kind of like a surface wound, just a surface cut on your forearm there as you're kind of moving his sword out of the way. Duratar, you are up. You see some of your compatriots fighting off these mounds of skeletons crawling their way out. You don't see any fresh skeletons, just the one that attacked Warwick.
Okay. I think I'm going to go after the one that attacked Warwick.
Okay.
To take out my great axe. How many do I see?
You just that one is left. You do hear some rustling and some commotion within the ship.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for a reckless attack on here while I'm still raging.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of you flutter yourself down to where Warwick is engaged with him. So now, I'll say you're flanking, so you would get advantage anyways. But
so that is a 18 to hit.
18 definitely hits.
Right. Great axe. How many? Oh, I'm sorry, not the great axe. My maul. 2d6. Okay. So 5. All right, that is 10. That is 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, that's you come in and you just cleave off, maul the other side of the other shoulder blade that was holding the sword, the one arm he had left, and now it's just like the spinal cord and a head that is just sitting there that then just falls forward, face down in the sand. Half its body still in its grave, just falls down.
Now, it is dead.
Yeah, it's gone. And you don't see any other rustling, anything outside of the ship. Again, that commotion that you did hear in the faintest of commotions inside.
Are any of us inside the ship?
Yeah, Rips and Merrick are down in the hold there.
Could I swim? Because I fell an enemy. As a bonus action, I can attack another thing.
Okay. I'll say you use 10 feet of your movement to get next to Warwick, so you have however many feet left.
30 feet would be.
Okay, so 30 feet will get you up and on the deck. It's not going to be enough to get you down into the ship.
I don't see anything then.
But you could get up there, and as you look down, you do see Rips grappled by a tentacle and kind of like in his giant frog mouth.
Javelin at that tentacle.
Yeah, you see that, and there is a skeleton engaged with Merrick.
So I'm going to try to free Surgeon here with a reckless attack through the javelin.
Okay.
Critical hit.
Whoa! Yeah, so you pinpoint this javelin coming through the opening in the top of the ship and come down just outside of Rip's face and pins this tentacle down to the ground. Go ahead and roll damage.
10 piercing damage.
10 piercing damage. Holy cow! Let me mark that off. Yeah, and as that hits Rips, you feel that tentacle. The back half of that tentacle that is gripping you and constricting you down, it releases you, and now it is your turn, Rips, and you are not grappled.
I want to try to talk to it in my frog form.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna just say, you know what? I'm gonna go with there's a lot of hate in the world today, and I don't see why friendship couldn't be an option there. Any response on that one?
Yeah. You hear coming out of that cavern behind the darkened shadows there, you hear, "You don't want to end up like me. Leave now, or my minions will tear you apart." That's about the end of its 6 seconds. So you do hear some discourse coming back your way.
Oh.
I'm thinking. I'll attack him.
Okay, yeah, so you see this tentacle in front of you. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. You can't see what this tentacle is attached to. You just heard the voice, but you can go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Wait, hold on. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go for the Hail Mary.
Okay.
I'm gonna hug the tentacle and say, we can work it out.
This tentacle that just released you, you are now.
Well,
going
he talked to me. Like, if we're communicating, this could work. And maybe he needs a frog hug.
Okay, so you give him this big frog hug.
And I'll take the damage that I know I'm about to incur.
All right. We'll see what happens. But that's your action, going in and embracing this tentacle with a nice warm frog hug.
When's the last time we tried to bridge the gap between monster and man?
There is nothing for you here. You hear out of the shadows there, and we'll call that your turn.
I'm trying to save lives.
Merrick,
I took an oath.
You are engaged with the skeleton at your feet, and you see Rips doing some odd things with this tentacle.
Upsetting.
Honest to goodness, who even knows where to start with this mess? So I've got a skeleton at my feet. Rips is hugging a tentacle. Did I manage to open the lock that I was
you popped it open, and as you are now you're scanning the area here, you see the skeleton, you see Rips doing weird things. You check back at the apparatus, and you see in the back side of it, because it's like a barrel with legs coming out of it, and it's got claws in the front. On the back side, you do see a door, like a hatch to get inside of this apparatus.
Oh. I would like to. So if I leave the skeleton, he's going to get an attack of opportunity, right?
You would be able to kind of sidle around the backside. If you would enter the apparatus, you would. Yep. But if you're just going to the door, you're fine. But yeah, he would.
Okay, so what I would like to do is use my action to disengage.
Okay.
So that he can't attack me.
I think you can do that as a bonus action, being a rogue.
Bonus action? Okay, I'm going to use a bonus action to do that, and I'm going to use my action to open and try and pop inside.
So you pop inside, and it's like a hermetically sealed inside that you're able to open, and you do feel water start to rush inside. Are you going all the way in?
Yep, full force. Let's go.
All right, so you go in, and you shut the door behind you. Oh my god, I have some new things to give you in chat.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So there's two things I'm going to upload here.
Oh, that's tiny.
Well, yeah, sorry. This is the biggest thing that you want is this has an armor class of 20. It has 200 hit points. But the second thing I uploaded there is the actions that you can take in here. You look inside, there are levers. There are 10 different levers, and each one looks like they move up and down. I'll say you know what they do. Like, we don't need to...
We don't need to worry about that? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
So you know that each lever does a different thing. Pushing levers up and down do other things. So I'll give you this revolution of initiative here to kind of look that over, and you can do something with this. It does fit 2 people in there.
So am I doing something next round? Or
Yeah, I'll say next round, because you use your action to get in and close the door behind you. Yeah. You do have an action. So next round, you'll be able to do something.
I would like to make it very clear that Merrick has pulled the door firmly closed behind him, thinking, oh, goodness gracious, there's a dirty skeleton behind me.
All right, so Warwick, what are you doing? There are no skeletons around you that are moving, and you hear more and more commotion happening in on the inside of the ship there.
Assuming whatever happened above has probably triggered something below, I'm going to sprint down to the lower levels and dive through that broken hole to see what's going on with Merrick.
All right. How much movement do you have?
30 feet.
Yeah, so 30 feet, much like a Duratar, you're able to get at the edge of this entrance, and you can see down in it. You see Rips, the frog, grabbing the tentacle. You see a skeleton kind of like scrambling, and Merrick is nowhere to be found.
Can't get much further than that, so there's nothing in range for me. There's all below, so I'm waiting until next turn. That's all I can do.
Do you have a ranged attack or
no?
Okay, yep. So you're kind of there. You can use your action to get down in the hole.
Oh, I could dash down.
Yeah. All right.
Good
so
call.
you dash down in. You're engaged with the skeleton that is kind of half bodied at that point, and he's kind of grabbing up at you.
So that's full action.
But that's your action. You do have a bonus action still.
Yep, which I can actually use as my offhand attack. So.
All right. Go ahead and give me an attack roll on that skeleton.
That I did mention I'm like Will Wheaton 2.0, right?
Are you making it happen?
Exercising that ability very much. Yes. No, it's a 1.
Oh man, yeah. You don't. Nothing happened. You take a swipe, but
no.
Yeah, it's just too much for
I
you.
got there, swung, smiled at him, and went, "Oh crap."
Maybe the pressure of being 100 feet down is like just kind of like ringing on your temples. That you miss. Tarragon, it is now your turn. You see all of your compatriots kind of moving towards the opening of the ship.
Is the in front of me? Is he?
Yeah, he's toast.
Okay. Are there any more skellies? Is there anything else around me?
No, nothing moving on the outside. Just commotion on the inside.
Is the frog still hugging the tentacle?
Yeah, frogs. So you get up to the top. I imagine you use your movement to get there. You're looking down. Frog hugging a tentacle. Warwick engaged with a skeleton. Merrick nowhere to be found.
Is this tentacle? Is it just like a random like Cthulhu tentacle?
Yeah, kind of purple in color, and it's coming out of the darkened cavern that is in the upper right of the ship.
Tentacle.
All right, so you jump down in. Give me a punch on that tentacle.
First attack. Oh, that's a 10.
Yeah, that 10. It's kind of wiggling, squirming side to side. You can't quite get it. You hit air.
Next attack. Second attack's a 19.
Yeah, 19 hits. After the first one, you're able to kind of, as it's squirming away from you, you're able to kind of pop it.
That's 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Okay. Then I'm gonna do action. I've never played a monk before, so this is weird.
No,
I'm usually like I take a shot with the crossbow, my turn's done. When you use the attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon on your turn, one arm. My God, that's an 18 plus 5.
You hit it.
Punch the crap out of it. Be known that I fight with my tail and my one arm, so it's just like so that's a 7 damage.
All right. Yeah, it's kind of like getting bounced off the bottom deck of the ship, but still bouncing itself right up.
Ooh.
As I watch you punch the shit out of those tentacles, you hear like a froggy, "Oh shit."
Is that
8,
it?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The last one is a 13.
13 doesn't hit. Again, you just get kind of the bottom of the deck, and some splinters from the old rotten floorboard kind of fly up in your face. They're now like floating in the air. As you do that, you pull your fist up and out. You see 2 more tentacles kind of start to creep out of this cavern, and behind it, you now see the body of what is these tentacles are connected to. Think Ursula kind of in your head here. You see this big captain's hat, a buccaneer's coat that begins to cover its hip and waist, where 2 legs should be split into 8 different tentacles, and it's kind of just like floating there, propped up on 2 tentacles. The other 6 are now starting to make their way out. You can assume this is the guardian or the captain of what was the smiling Leviathan. As it kind of gets its way out, he says to you, "I told you to leave now. You don't want to end up like me." And he looks over at the apparatus of the crab, and he kind of through the eye holes in it that Merrick can look through. He sees Merrick in there. And then he looks back at Rips and Tarragon, and he opens up his mouth, and this black ink starts to flood out in front of you. I need you to make the both of you to make a Constitution saving throw. And actually, Warwick, you would be down there too. So yeah, I need the three of you to make a Constitution saving throw as this ink comes filtering into the ocean water.
Nat 20.
Wow!
Clutch.
You save. What'd you get, Tarragon? Sorry, you cut out. 13? I'm trying to read lips here. 13. Rips, what'd you get?
Well, as a giant frog, I think we all know with the grace and tenacity I would move through the water. That's a 7.
Oh. Warwick, saving, you take 15 points of necrotic damage. Tarragon and Rips, you take 30 points of necrotic damage as this ink starts to infiltrate your nostrils and your mouth and just starts to like get into your skin and into your being. It's feeling bad. Rips, what do you got there?
So the frog and actual Rips dies.
No.
Yeah,
So
the frog only had 5 hit points left,
Okay.
and old Rips only had 25. So, yay!
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the way Wild Shape works, you lose the hit points of the Wild Shape beast, and then you come back full health. Oh, you got the collector's edition. Dang.
I wouldn't come back full health because I when I wild shaped, I only had 25 points of health left. So I would come back with the 25 I had, and then I would take the damage from there. So my frog died, and then I died.
Okay, well, unconscious.
Oh, sorry,
So, yeah.
unconscious.
Yeah, not
Just
dead.
an unconscious man underwater. Take it.
Go
That's
ahead.
30 points. 30.
3-0.
I have 3 hit points left.
This guy's
Lucky.
a joke. Rips, as this ink comes into your your nostrils, your frog nostrils, kind of filters through your body, you quickly snap out of your frog form, and you see briefly this moment of Rips hanging on, the full-bodied human hanging on to the end of this tentacle, and he looks at it, catches eye contact with some of you, and then he falls down unconscious. Warwick, Skeleton's gonna take a shot at you. Ooh, that's a natural 20 on my end.
I will use luck, and you can re-roll that.
Oh, you son of a bitch. All right.
Ah, boy,
All right.
good boy.
That's a natural 3 on the reroll, so he's gonna miss big time, maybe seeing some of the skin
And-
kind of cloud his vision.
I will riposte.
Okay. Is that damage?
So if I remember how to do that, so yeah, I roll 7
Riposte is my favorite feature of all time ever. It's so fantastic.
17 damage.
17. Oh shit. Jesus Christ. So yeah, you're just shatter this whole skeletal being. It had like 4 hit points left. Just now there are bone shards everywhere, joining in the swill of the shattered floorboards. I do want to go back. Tarragon, don't you have like an uncanny dodge as a monk?
You know,
So
that
you
sounds...
take
yeah. Wait,
where you take
reaction.
half damage on a fail and no damage on a success. So you would only take 15 points.
But uncanny. I think that's rogue.
No, I know the monk gets it, but it's like later. Yeah, it must be like level. I think it's actually level 7. You get that. So my bad. You take full damage. No, I'm sorry.
He's just teasing you. He's teasing you now.
I was so excited. I was like, oh, am I not dead?
Yeah, 7th level is when you get evasion.
All right. Yeah, sorry. Should have made you level 7. So that Duratar, you are up on top, seeing all of this chaos happen down below you. This ink is starting to now filter up to you. By the time it gets to you, it's dissipated enough. But what do you want to do?
Okay, so do I see the captain person, or is he obscured by this cloud?
No, you can make out the outline of him. You can't really like get detailed features of his face.
How
but
far away is he?
Let's see. Let's get back to that map.
Maybe I'm probably just like floating because I am so close to unconscious.
He's about 25 feet down at an angle that standing at the opening of that cavern. And as you kind of like are peering through there, you do see Terrigan kind of like hanging on with her one arm on the side of this apparatus, and you see Rips just start to kind of dead fish belly up and start to float up to you.
Let the record show that for some reason Ave Maria by Schubert is playing as you watch this.
All right, Duratar, what you gonna do?
Electric pulsing rage surges from his eyes down to his scars. They pulse, they electrify with this supernatural energy. Though it's underwater, technically he can't scream very well. A primal scream of rage.
Do it.
A swiftness and a fury rushes, like he pushes off of where he was with his feet, and he wants to two-hand overhand clobber this guy straight over the head. For the captain! Bam! I think so. That's a 27 to hit.
27? Yeah, that hits. That hits.
A natural 20 there, people.
Yeah, you come down and you kind of like straddle one of these tentacles that's coming up between your legs, and you're just now wailing on this guy.
So that is 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
Number 1, folks. He looks up at this captain, this weird Ursula crossover. In disgust, he spits on its tentacle wound and goes for another strike.
Do it.
7. It's the second 19.
Yeah, that hits. And as are you hitting him with your maul? Yeah, so as it's like swiping through the water, some of the swirling ink is coming up, and you see more of his face. It is barnacled. It is like there are some skeletal, his skull is exposed. He doesn't have any tentacles up top, but it is just like withering away all the humanoid parts of him that is left.
Okay, that would be 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, just rocking this guy. You're just cleaving and mauling the side of him, and he's just taking these hits. He's kind of like cowering forward a little bit, but then he steps back up. He's looking, making these dead eyes at you.
He makes him right back. He just stares him, unblinking, with this electric fury in his eyes.
Nice. Is that it?
I believe that's all. Tentacles count as me downing them?
Explain.
I have a feat that allows me to, as a bonus action, I can make another attack if I drop something HP to 0, or if I crit.
No, he still has all faculties of those.
Okay, then that would be the end of my turn.
That makes us to Rips. I need a death save. It's not a D&D game if we don't get a death save, so let's go ahead and do that.
You want to play hardcore roles here, dog? You want to play some hardcore roles?
Let's do it.
All right, baby, above a 15. I like gambling.
Oh.
You rolled above a 15, like.
I actually did. I rolled a 17. Okay. That's a safety.
Yeah. And you only have to get a 10 or higher, so you're in good hands. So that's one save.
I do start drowning next round.
Merrick, inside the apparatus, you've had kind of like 6 seconds to kind of look around and get some ideas of the controls. What do you want to do? Your claws are facing the opening, and you could see through the little eye holes of this machine. This man starting to tear people apart.
So I've seen Rips get knocked down. I've seen my beloved Terrigan get smacked around a whole bunch. Is Terrigan down as well? Like he's just kind of floating away. Just like, leave me alone.
Terrigan's kind of like hanging on to one of the 8 legs that are coming out and like trying to stabilize himself and kind of get control. Not,
all right,
but still.
Said I took
still awake.
necrotic damage.
Yeah, it didn't come off the top of your score or anything. So.
Oh no! But if it's necrotic, like if you can see him, it's probably just like black veins, super gross, not looking good.
I'm not a fan of this. So I have a question for you there, if you don't mind, Mr. DM.
Yeah.
What I want to do, and I want to see if this is possible. I get 2 actions with these levers, correct?
Yeah.
I would like to push one of the levers forward to move myself over top of this creature and pull the legs out from underneath so it drops down on top.
Okay, so you want to kind of go up and forward.
And crush.
And then crush.
Yeah.
So, what do we want that to be?
I don't know. I just want to kill it.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a strength check. We'll have this being do a strength check with disadvantage since it's got a Duratar in front of his face, like distracting him. He's gonna do a strength check. We'll set the DC like a 15. Like this thing's pretty heavy, I think.
It's 500 or 600 pounds, I think.
Yeah, so enough to maybe just able to push away from it. That's what we're going for. So, but with disadvantage.
Okay.
We'll set that DC at 15. Let's see. Is this? Oh, he's got a decent straight. I rolled a 3 and a 1. So that's a definite fail. Yeah. So this thing starts to come down and crush on him. Let's see. Well, what do we think? Damage here?
I don't even know how to do this. I just was so excited that it worked.
All right. I'm going to roll 5d6.
Okay.
As this thing is starting to crush. And I dropped one of my d6. So that's 12, 17, 20, 22 points of bludgeoning damage as this apparatus kind of comes up and over Duratar's head, and you're kind of staring at it, and it comes over and then falls right in front of you and just kind of smashes this thing. He takes the damage, but he's able to kind of squirm off and out to the side. So it doesn't like crush him, but it does do a ton of damage, more than I think we were expecting. So your 2 actions that you get in there were moving those levers.
Yeah, that's from my reading of it. I hope that I did that right. But
no, I like it. It works. So everybody else around, you see this apparatus start to kind of breaking some of the rust out of its joints, and the barnacles start to kind of break away, and it rises up only to fall down on top of this person. Warwick, I believe there is a skeleton still at your feet. No, you smashed him. You got him with
I smashed that on the
That's
post.
right. Okay.
So
He did the real big smack.
Yeah, he did the real
can
big
I
smack.
see Rips? Like, how far is he?
Rips. So to paint the scene, we got the apparatus, we got Duratar, we got Rips on the ground, kind of in a line to you. Next to that, we have, next to Duratar, we have Terrigan, kind of standing there like her stabilizer kind of went up and flew away. And then in front of Terrigan, next to the apparatus, is this tentacled being.
Cool.
All within 25 feet of you. And Rips is like 10 feet in front of you.
Yeah, so I'd be able to get the Rips and stabilize them then?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I do, is I head over and just kind of get him out of it and
give me
stand him up and dust him off.
Yeah, give me a medicine check, and because we don't have any healing potions, or you don't have any way to heal them.
14.
Yeah, 14. You're able to kind of like quickly assess his wounds and stabilize him. So he doesn't have to make any death saves, but he is still unconscious, but stabilized.
Cool. Yeah, so I don't have any way to bring him up. So,
all right, I'll say that's your bonus action. If you want, you still got an action. You can and you use 10 feet of movement to get there.
So what's the closest thing to me? Is that big tentacle looking Ursula close to 20 feet from me?
It's another 10 feet to your left.
Okay, so I'm gonna, if I can, come over and flank it.
Okay.
And
yeah, so you're able to get around it, so you're flanked with the apparatus.
Perfect. So I just want to start wailing on it. As I can see, like he's kind of got him crushed down, so he's kind of maybe lost focus and start wailing on him.
Yeah, his attention is like fully on this apparatus, trying to use its tentacles to kind of back away.
Perfect. Any bonus for the flanking or
what's that?
Bonus for flanking or
yeah?
Like that?
No, you can roll with advantage. Roll your attack with advantage.
That is a 25.
Definitely hits.
So that's the first one. We'll roll that. That's 9.
Yeah, 9 points of damage. Okay.
Yep. And then the second attack is a 26.
Definitely hits.
And 12.
Okay. Yeah, you just slice it into this guy, and he is more focused on this apparatus, and one of its tentacles actually falls off and starts to float up, and he's kind of oozing black ink and bile, just kind of like starting to come out of its body. Anything else there?
2 tentacles gone, right?
Yeah.
I think that's all I got. My bonus action was stabilizing.
Yep.
I think we're good.
All right. Terrigan, you are kind of settling yourself. You're seeing what's happening. You're seeing some of your party kind of get control of the situation a little bit. What do you want to do with your 3 hit points?
Is the thing within 30 feet?
The apparatus or the bad guy, the big bad?
Big bad person.
Yeah. He is like 10 feet in front of you. As you're kind of.
So
if here's the apparatus, you're kind of kitty corner to it, and then the tentacle figured is ahead of you 10 feet.
Okay. Work because I'm a Sun Soul monk, but I get the Radiant Sunbolt. You gain a special attack with a range of 30 feet that uses your Dex modifier and deals radiant damage equal to your martial arts die.
Yeah.
The attack action, you can spend 1 key point twice as a bonus action.
Okay.
Is that gonna work underwater?
Yeah. You move forward a little bit, get in melee with it. Go ahead.
It's ranged, and I'm just gonna.
Oh, so you don't have to move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's ranged, and I'm not moving on purpose.
Okay.
Don't fuck me. I'm so scared. Okay. That's a 19.
That hits.
And then the second one, 17.
That hits. So both of those, just these sun bolts, like a vision that should not be 100 feet underwater, kind of breaks out in front of you. This radiant sun lights up twice out of your hand. It just lights up this body, and then hits the side and just kind of explode and burst in front of his face.
And that is damage, radiant damage.
Okay. How much damage? Sorry.
8.
8 radiant damage for both, or?
Wait, 8, 11, 12. 12 points of radiant damage.
Okay. 12 total on both of those hits?
Both of them.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, I'm going to spend a key point. I'm going to do patient defense.
Okay. So yeah, you patient defense, you are now like arming yourself to take on any attack.
And that's my turn.
Okay. So in front of this being, it is going to start to bring its tentacles up and around the apparatus and try to like hold itself there. But it is going to take 2 greatsword attacks as it unsheathes this greatsword on its side. 2 greatsword attacks at Duratar. Oh, that's a natural 20 on the first one.
Good.
And a
Attacking the captain, I've done my job.
Darutar, I might see you soon!
and a 7
Dear
on the
friend,
second one.
You will.
Let's see
That is the only way you will see me.
You take
Because I am raging because of my 3rd level totem, the bear, the only thing that gets past my damage reduction is psychic damage.
Oh, all right.
Damage that I take is cut in half.
That is not this. This is that's 11 points of slashing damage.
And rounded down to 5.
Okay. 5 points of slashing damage. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Oh no.
Constitution saving throw. One of my best. Let's see. That's my second best throw. Now, I don't think I get advantage on this.
Because you're raging, I think that's only strength.
Strength checks and saving throws. Nope, not Constitution. Okay. So single roll. Come on. Okay, unnatural 20.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You feel like as this slices into you, you feel the wound start to crackle and kind of gets really cold, and your skin immediately starts to turn blue, but it almost as immediate as it turns blue, it fades away. You're able to save.
Trick monster.
Duratar, it's your turn.
I do not need your fancy magics. This attack. I'm going to reckless attack and activate my my two-handed fighting feats special ability. I can take a -5 to hit to add +10 to the damage of my attack.
Do it.
This is with advantage, but with a -5. That is still really good. That is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that is low on the dice, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, because rage, 5, 10. Okay, so that is 20 bludgeoning damage.
I'm gonna say it, guys. How do you want to do this?
Yes! How he said, I will fell you with this attack, and he did.
You did real good. You did real good, kid.
Real good, kid. How do you want to do this, Duratar?
He's going to unstraddle that tentacle that he's been beating the crap out of. He's going to grab it with both hands. He's going to bring this guy as close as he can to him. And with the force of him bringing him to him, he's going to let go, grab his maul, and like a baseball bat, just crack his skull open.
Yeah, and as you do that, his hat comes flying off, and you see just this exposed skull underneath that is like almost been picked clean. It's super like bleached white, and it's kind of gets down into more like skin and rot and barnacles, and he just kind of slow motion falls back, and he lands. Tentacles, all 6 of the remaining, kind of 2 of them slide off the apparatus and thud on the ground. The other 4 just fall. Dust kind of comes up and down. You guys are out of initiative.
Okay. And I immediately swim over to Rips.
Okay.
Because we do have a spare potion. Or potion of water breathing into him.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to kind of work it down into his throat and down into and we'll say that has like the slightest of healing properties, and he actually comes up with 1 hit point, and he is awake at that point.
Medicine man, we still require your services. Or I share it.
Merrick would like to use this apparatus that he has to gingerly pick up Terrigan and just start to ascend towards the surface.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of like... It doesn't really articulate this way, but we'll do it because rule of cool is awesome. You kind of like pick him up in this throne and ascend, and you have to like use the other claw to kind of break your way through and make the hole bigger. And you kind of use the feet to scuttle yourself up. And I imagine everybody else is following up to it. And
it's just like, of course, don't let us hitch a ride. And he just helps them up too.
So yeah, you can maybe grab onto one of it as it's kind of fluttering you up, and you guys are able to get it up, and with enough rigging and hoisting, you're able to get it up and onto the main deck of the ship. And you guys have successfully retrieved the lost apparatus of the crab from Mordenkainen's sunken ship at the bottom of the sea. Well done, guys. You guys made some quick work of
that was fantastic.
The drowned master.
I was pretty sure we were all going to die.
Well,
minus myself.
I spent the power moves early and got a couple of you down pretty quick. I saw the fear in your eyes.
I was fine. I don't know about you guys. That was good.
Yeah, any fear you saw in my eyes was probably projected.
I had lost 4 points and I hopped inside a tube and I was like, oh, this is lovely.
Yeah,
I live here now.
You got lucky. Duratar, you almost contracted blue rot, and if you have Ghost of Saltmarsh, you can look that up in the appendix what blue rot is, but it is lasting effects. But you guys were clear. So I want to say thank you guys. We powered through some technical difficulties. We made it happen. I'm sweating. It's 100 degrees in my room. I think, Cole, you're in the same boat. But I want to thank you for hanging out on a weeknight. And I know we went a little long, but I appreciate you guys playing and having a good time. I don't get to DM very often. I don't DM very often, and this was a special one, and you guys did great. Who knows what's in store for the Danti Manti crew? We might have a reprisal.
I hope we do. I'll say, just on behalf of everyone here, Chris, you did a fantastic job. I really think that was really well run. Really appreciate all your hard work, everything you put into it. So fantastic overall, like really great.
Good. Thanks. I appreciate it. Feedback coming my way. You guys were awesome. With that, I don't have anything else to say. I mean, this is the one-shot show at DadBodDnd. If you want in on it, join the Discord. Tell us you want in, and you can share a seat here at this table. Thank you once again, everybody. I do. It is late, guys, so we should wrap this up.
Final thought.
Say it, Doug.
Final thought. Merrick, upon getting Terrigan back up to the surface and onto the boat, plants a big old kiss on him.
Oh, that's a cliffhanger, guys. We definitely have to do round 2.
Into the side of the boat.
Triangle. Oh God.
That's awesome. I love
the
it.
worst part of this, that meme that's like, but the person has 2 hands. Terrigan literally only has 1 hand.
It can't end any better than that, guys. I'm gonna sign off. Thank you all.
Thanks for everything.
Appreciate it. I hope Billy is in the chat ready to end the stream. Otherwise, we'll sit here.